suck badass. The only chance you have no chance. If you had a chance, you can run lickety split. But you can't run because you're the badass. Well, Ric Flair, you know what? I'm not a normal looking athlete myself. You know what I'm talking about? I've been in the gyms a lot. It's a privilege and an honor to walk out with Ole Anderson, Lex Luger, and the Omni tomorrow night.
I am not a happy camper. What is Bully Ray's motivation? You know, I know he loves sugar. But I checked my pocket. I don't have no donuts. I don't have no cheeseburger. I know you love sugar, but I ain't got none.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here in Nashville, Tennessee, pal. I'm the man.
Booking a match for the total package like Luger and Super Brawl. Super Saturday? What is it? I don't even know what it's called. What is it called?
Super Brawl Saturday.
Super Brawl Saturday?
You don't lose faith in winners. And Ric Flair, day in and day out, every day of his life, just keeps winning and winning and winning.
Ric Flair! New York City, Ric Flair! You're gonna find out what hard is all about! I do exactly what I want to do. You say I'm insane. I say thank you very much.
Make a good lucha thing.
I hate God!
Hit the deck! Yes! We love you, Scott Steiner!
Today, woo, I've got the style and profile like never before.
You guys talk about being students of the game. I am the game, JR.
Dude, that is definitely a generic wrestling entrance theme right there.
You can smell the baby oil and popcorn from here.
Oh yeah, baby oil, popcorn, maybe even maybe some nachos, man, a little cheese, huh? Maybe a jalapeno on the side.
I wouldn't recommend a little cheese or a lot of cheese.
Well, not that cheese. That's some shitty cheese right there. But anyway, what is going on, everybody? It is Wednesday night. It is Dirt Sheet Dudes. I am Boxman. And, of course, along with me, riding shotgun as always, it is, since he doesn't like all the flattering, it is smart-ass Mark Wahlberg.
That's right. WrestleMania week is here.
Yes.
You can tell that we are jazzed about it.
Jazzed is not the word I would say, but it was close enough, and we will go ahead and go with just jazzed. We'll just leave it at jazzed. I like that one. That's good. That's good.
Well, see, it's all part of it. It all goes together, because you know who Jazz's friend is. It's old Will Smith. He's in the news.
Oh, who? Oh,
That was my attempt to be a band leader. It didn't work.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was clicking something.
It happens. It happens. We're off to a great start.
Let me shut that shit down. The music over there. All right. So anyway, yeah, it's it's just one of those things. But anyway, yeah, it's mostly Mania talk we're gonna be doing tonight. That's really most of the big news. Of course, there is another little thing in the news, obviously, with Triple H. We'll definitely get into that. Matter of fact, we're gonna kick off with that. We're not gonna make y'all wait. And of course, AEW tonight, which was a damn good show, I thought. So we got all that coming up, and man, there are tons of shows coming up this weekend. I see people mentioning ROH shows, GCW shows, all kinds of shows, and they are all right here in Texas, right in Dallas. So, going to be interesting, man. It's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens, what's going on. But anyway, I guess we can go ahead and rock these plugs, knock them bad boys out, and then we can go ahead and get to what we are talking about. Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's start out, of course. It is the High March. That's right. Cheeseman, Mojo, G-Wiz, all those crazy characters. Be there Sunday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, to check them out on Mixler.com/Metal Mitt Network. Do not forget. And you can also check them out on YouTube. So go ahead and check them out there, too. And, of course, Bobby Anthem, Bobby Blades, they are the Inhumans on the Inhuman Experience. You can find them on all the usual podcast platforms. And, of course, I seem to have lost Smart. Give me 1 second here. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I guess I lost Smart for a second there. Hopefully we'll get him back. Anyway, Eric, Doug, Daniel, they are together the Everything Unscripted Wrestling Podcast. That's right, the EUP Network. You can check them out right there on Blog Talk Radio and all the usual podcast platforms. And, of course, Stephen Milan, he's out there sharing the show, and we do appreciate it. Letterboxd.com/Stephen Milan, 2 L's in that last name, Milan. And don't forget Hollywood Hangout. Not sure still what I'm doing Saturday, I got to be honest with you guys. I think everybody noticed I didn't get a show done until Monday this week. But I just need to think about it. I don't know if I'm going to go on late. If I do go on late and do music, I was thinking possibly 90s grunge. So we can see what happens right there. But yeah, it looks like I did finally actually lose Smart right there. But like I said, with Mania coming up this weekend, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do right now. If I'm going to do a Hollywood Hangout, if I'm going to just skip it this weekend. And I don't know, I think people are going to be pretty burnt out just watching, you know, wrestling shows and everything. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But we're going to try to get Smart back as soon as possible. And see, Dirk, I thought she looked a little leaner too, Toni Storm, tonight in her debut. I thought she looked a little leaner too, but she's had time off, time to, you know, do that. So she still looked goddamn good to me. I mean, like I've said, man, she's always just looks great to me. So I guess we will see what happens with that. But, all right, everybody. Like I said, we're going to try to get Smart back here. I think we can get him back pretty quick. Usually it jumps right back on when he drops off like that. So we will, what was that you were saying? There was an article that Kimberly accused her husband, Nash Carter, of abuse. I didn't read that. Dirk says that Tony's looking a little bit like Trish. I guess she kind of is getting a little bit of that Trish look, a little more of the, I don't know, Trish look. Oh, Sasha Baron Corbin has it pulled up right here. Let me take a look at that real quick. Let me go to that link before we do anything here. Give me 1 sec. Let's see. This is coming from the Shield of Wrestling. Where was this said? Okay, some of this is not in English. This is not... yeah, this isn't in English, dude. I'm not going to attempt to read this. Oh, wait. English. Hold on, let me just switch over. It was in Italian. Jesus. Okay, this is here. The next card, NXT Ashlight Impact Wrestling. They got married in May. Apparently have not been going the best way. Kimberly heavily accused her husband, telling of having suffered several abuses by the NXT fighter. Here's what she tweeted about. I would love to be excited for NASCAR at NASCAR WWE right now, but I've hid his abuse for too long. No one should be abandoned the way I've been abandoned and silenced in hopes of keeping a career. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but she's saying, she added, I'm sorry, but it's ridiculous that someone is attacking me because I don't feel ready to talk about the reasons yet. I have been subjected to mental abuse since October, almost to the point of thinking about taking my own life. God, that's awful. Look how you are treating a victim and be ashamed. I was harassed on the phone for about 12 hours, continues Kimberly, of the Nash Carter case. Nobody deserves that. Know that I'm fine now. I'm just taking some time for myself. I love you guys and appreciate your great support. I wanted to write more, Kimberly concludes, but someone warned me not to. The harassment came from people who tried to intimidate me. Can I give an explanation now? No. I'll do it when I can, though. Please have respect for now. Thank you. I didn't see that. So she's accusing him of some mental abuse and some other pretty harsh stuff. I don't know. Wow. I guess we're going to have to see what more comes out on that now that it's out there. Honestly, I don't know. Just an accusation right now, I guess. Kind of hard to go after the guy without knowing just a little bit more. And but meanwhile, I mean, saying she wanted to, take her own life, that's awful to even hear. But yeah, let's wait to see what else comes of that. I don't really want to start commenting on that and, trashing someone who I don't really know anything about the story. But there you go. The story is out there now. So, and I don't know much about Nash Carter, to be honest with you. So we'll have to see what happens there. But kind of, not going to lie, trying to kill a little bit of time here until Smart comes back. When that's not a real problem. But like you said, we do have Mania coming up this weekend. We have the Hall of Fame coming up Friday. We have WrestleMania Night 1, Night 2, Saturday, Sunday. So pretty much all weekend with WWE. Like I said, we have a ton more shows all around here. There's indie shows everywhere, ROH, GCW. Pretty much any three letters you can put together are going to have a show down here in Texas. So it's going to be pretty cool. But not only can you see the WWE WrestleMania at all those places or see it on Peacock, anywhere else, but you can also see them right now. Dave and Buster's will be showing both nights. So you can also check it out if you're near a Dave and Buster's. This is right off the WWE corporate website. So obviously I would hope it's pretty legit, but they will be doing this and more WWE premium live events into all Dave & Buster's locations. So prepare for that. So it'll be at more than 140 Dave & Buster's locations. So there you go. If you're got no way to watch it, you don't want to have Peacock, you don't want to buy Peacock, go ahead, go to a Dave & Buster's. Otherwise, you could also go to Fathom Events website. If you go there, you can find out if there is a movie theater near you that is carrying this WrestleMania. They have a ton of movie theaters that are also going to be showing this live. So you're welcome to go ahead and look on that. Fathom is the name of it, the name of the company. You would go to fathomevents.com. So if you want one other way to watch, there's one other way to watch this show right there. Go ahead and go there and, go to a movie theater. Go with a bunch of people. That I've never done that, but I think that'd actually be a pretty cool way to watch a pay-per-view. If it's just you or, no one else in the house is a fan, wouldn't be a bad thing. Go ahead and go to a movie theater, have everybody out there with you and a bunch of like-minded wrestling fans. Then again, it could be a really shitty time. Who knows with wrestling fans? But there you go. If you're looking for a few different kind of ways to watch WrestleMania instead of just sitting in your house, Dave & Buster's, or once again, fathomevents.com. You can go and check out, see if there's a theater near you playing this. But I do have to say, if you're in Texas, you're not going to get any theaters. They're not allowing theaters in Texas to play it. So you've got to be somewhere else besides Texas to go check it out in a theater. Dave & Buster's will be showing it here, though. So you can check out a Dave & Buster's if you're around. And like I said, you can also go to any theaters outside of Texas and check it out. So there you go right there. I thought I'd go ahead and mention that real quick. But we were going to talk and get into some Triple H to begin with here. I'm not sure. I can try to call Smark real quick. He usually calls me back when he's ready to go. You know, I guess we can go ahead and start a little bit talking about Triple H, because obviously that's going to be one of the bigger things that really came out of the weekend. I guess it was last week. I guess it was Triple H. I think it was last Thursday or Friday. Triple H did an interview with Stephen A. Smith from ESPN. And in the interview, he kind of gave an update on his in-ring, on his health, and many other things. He pretty much just kind of went out there and just let everything kind of out. Just didn't even hesitate. Kind of just immediately went right in. And looks like he didn't have any problems just going in there and talking about everything. And, you know, he talked about his family. He talked about really what's really happening and everything. And I guess what I could do is go ahead and play the audio a little bit while I'm waiting on Smark. I'm going to have to pull that up real quick. Sorry, everybody. Go to my bookmarks. Go to audio. Hold on. There we go. We got Smark back.
Damn.
There's the man. I was just about to play the audio, Smark. And if you'll give me 1 second here, I will do that.
Yep. Just real quick here. This is the second time tonight that the power has gone out. So high probability that I'm going to drop off at some point. And if that happens, you know why.
Oh, all right. Well, hopefully it doesn't, but we'll see what happens here. I'm trying to find. I won't pull. Of course, my phone is being a pain in the balls and not pulling up the right shit. Give me 1 second here. Let me see if I can get this pulled up. Otherwise, I'll just share the screen and hope it works out for the best. Okay, do that. Let's go to bookmarks. Let's go to bookmarks bar, news, audio. Okay, I can't get it to pull up on my phone. This is great. All right, let me go down here. And let me go here to Skype. Let me share my screen real fast. Share screen. And I'll make sure I share the audio. Mark, if you're hearing anything weird, let me know.
Sure.
All right. You should be sharing right now. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that audio up right now that we were talking about. It is right here. The Triple H audio. All right.
Jeff, we're supposed to be watching.
I don't want to play the ad. So if you just hold on. Don't want to get in trouble for the Samuel L. Jackson, Charles Barkley ad. That would be horrible. Just horrible. So, all right, we got just a few more seconds here, folks, about 5 more seconds. So we're going to get right into the Triple H audio. Here we go right now.
On Stephen A's world.
I had a viral pneumonia. My lungs were inflamed, and you know, as the next couple of days went on, when I got home, it got increasingly worse. And my wife saw some blood and stuff that I was coughing up, and went and got checked. And you know, it was coming from the viral pneumonia, but I had fluid in my lungs. I had some fluid around my heart, so they followed up on it, did an EKG and echo and everything. And basically, the way your heart pumps out, 55 to 60% of your ejection fracture is a good number. I was at 30. And I got a quick text message saying, don't take time, pack a bag real quick, head to the emergency room. I'll fill you in on the way. So by the time I got to the emergency room, my ejection fracture had gone down to 22, which, you know, I was in heart failure.
Wow.
Bad. By the next morning, as they figured that out that evening, by the next morning, as they were sending me in to get an MRI done and about to go in for a heart cath, my ejection fracture was down to 12. So I was nosediving and sort of at the 1 yard line of, you know, where you need to be and or where you don't want to be, really.
All right, let's just stop there real quick. He didn't want to say the word death.
Right.
He just didn't want to say it. He was right there on the cusp of death is where he was. Man, just, you think you just got a little cold, you think you're sick, you think, oh, maybe I got the flu, and then you go in and you find out you have this viral pneumonia, you're coughing up blood, then you get a phone call. Hey, don't even, like, dude, pack a bag and leave now and go to the emergency room. Like, what, wait, what?
Yeah, that accelerated rapidly.
Yeah, and suddenly you're on your way. I mean, and when I've been for a heart thing when I did my double pumping. I went to the emergency room. Dude, it's scary. They swarm you. They start sticking those pads on you. They hook up the EKG machine immediately. It is, I mean, if you're not scared going in, you're scared 5 minutes into it because it is a fucking, I mean, you're, okay, am I dying? I don't know. But it's scary. It's scary when you go into the hospital for something for your heart, or even if you just tell them that your chest hurts or anything. It's pretty scary. So I've been there for that. I've never been to, obviously, where he was, but this is awful to hear. And obviously, his in-ring career is over. He's going to tell us that right now. So let's get back to it, Smark.
For your family and your future, when they tell you it's 99%, it gets real. We have 3 young girls, 15, 13, 11. Suddenly I come home, I'm a little bit sick, and their dad, who's, strong always, suddenly is in the hospital. And I don't know if they understood the consequences of it, but, there's moments in there where you, when they're putting you out for stuff and you think, is this it?
Wow.
Do you wake up for this?
See, the way he's acting here reminds me of something that I've always said, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that said it, but, I'm not afraid of death. I'm afraid of not seeing my kids grow up. I'm afraid of leaving my kids without a father if something were to happen. And it kind of see in his eyes, that's about where he was going with this. I mean, he obviously getting choked up here. He can barely control himself. He's doing his best not to break out in tears here. He's even putting his mean face on to try not to do it. But, yeah, I can, like I said, man, he really just let this all out. He just, he didn't hold back at all. And, not that Triple H ever does hold back, but I didn't expect him to go this deep into it. And, man, pretty tough to hear, though, huh, Smark?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you don't normally hear him being vulnerable by design. So it's a little bit of a different situation to get used to.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely is a little bit different. But got a little, just about a minute left of this. Here we go.
That's tough to swallow, and makes you think differently, I'm sure, as you've come out of your COVID scare. Makes you think differently about life. Doesn't make you any less driven for the things that you do, but it certainly makes you appreciate the things that you have more, your friends, your family.
As great of an executive as you are, you're also a great champion. What does the future hold for Triple H right now? That's what people want to know.
Yeah.
What do you say to them when asked that question?
Well, for me, as far as in-ring, which I get a lot, I'm done.
You'll never fight.
I won't. No, I would never wrestle again. First of all, I have a defibrillator in my chest, which, probably not a good idea for me to get zapped on live TV.
How about that? Subscribe to ESPN Plus.
So there you go. Yeah, probably not a good idea to get zapped on live TV. I think I agree with Triple H there. I don't think anybody needs to see that right there. Let me stop this here real quick, Smart, just in case you are hearing any echoes or anything. But yeah, that's pretty tough to hear right there. I mean, Triple H, definitely a huge part of the Attitude Era with DX and all that stuff, and even just by himself. It's a little weird hearing people kind of talk about him like he died.
Yeah, that was a big takeaway from what I was seeing from a lot of people, was just and people within the business, people outside of the business, wrestlers, fans, colleagues of his, of just being like, thank you for everything. You meant so much to me. It's like, he's going to be around, hopefully, for a while.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is like a preemptive measure to prevent anything else from happening.
Right.
But yeah, I get what you're saying, because it felt more like a eulogy than like a celebration of his career.
Felt like he gave his own eulogy right there, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah, a little bit.
And yeah, Christopher Kane, I saw that Ryback fucking backhanded compliment bullshit from Ryback. Anything for him to get a little bit of attention. He's really an attention whore. I really believe that Ryback is nothing but just an attention whore looking to sell his fucking vitamins or whatever bullshit he's pushing right now. But I saw that. It was like, oh, you were always kind of like, I'm paraphrasing. You were always a dick to me, but whatever. I'm sorry to see you go. Fuck Ryback. No one cares about Ryback anymore. He put up another poll that once again went the wrong way for him. Can he not get the fucking hint? Nobody gives a shit. Retire. Fuck off.
If he was smart enough to do it, he could really turn this into a good like heel gimmick of just like purposely, and like not only that, but just like wrestling in a way that prolongs the matches. So it's like not only do you get to begrudgingly have to sit through Ryback matches, but then he purposely locks in like fucking chin locks and rest holds.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, Sacha Baron Corbin. Yeah, he said you were the biggest disappointment, Triple H, but I'm sorry you're retiring or something like that. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Dirk. Instead, he's writing books on water and conservation of water. How there's only a finite amount of water in the world, and he only takes 10 minutes to shower.
I mean, do you really need more than that? Like after a while, you're just enjoying yourself. And I mean that figuratively and perhaps literally, but
I mean, I'm a good 15-minute shower guy. That's, I go in, I do my thing, I shave,
I shower excessively, but
I do
you
too.
really don't. If you actually do what you're supposed to do and get in and get out, it really shouldn't take longer than 10 minutes, but I'll turn on like the Bluetooth speaker and just jam out and have myself a time in there.
Yeah, I'll do that. Turn on a podcast, something like that. And yeah, Derek, I remember when Mitch did read that book. That was pretty funny. He was reading right from the book.
I do like the idea of like Ryback having like a lab coat that has the sleeve scarf.
Yeah, I'm sure it's what he has. But anyway, let's go back to Triple H. I mean, like I said, I mean, we've seen this guy go through fucking hell for us. You could say what you want. He's a dick. He this and that. He always just went out there and kind of shot on guys and, on the mic. But we also saw this guy get hurt a few times. We saw him fucking literally damn near his fucking, what was that? His quadricep rolled up in his leg, and he still finished the match. He got put in the walls of Jericho on a fucking announce table after he was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, you've got to at least have some respect for the guy for that. But, I mean, think about it, man. Triple H's been through a lot, and we've seen him. And I'm not going to say I'm glad he's retiring. This wasn't the way I wanted to see Triple H retire. But, especially with that last match that him and Sean, I believe his last match was him and Sean in Saudi Arabia, right?
I believe so. And that was kind of a disaster. So that is kind of sad if that's his last hurrah.
Yeah, but that sweet Saudi money is so good. So good. Yeah. So, whatever. I mean, that'll be one of the last memories we have of him, but what are you going to do? It was bad. Oh, okay, that's right. It was the last match on TV was versus Randy. Thank you, SBC. So there you go. That's not his last memory. His last memory was against Randy, which, yeah, he went out against one of the old Evolution guys. I guess that's not a bad way to go out.
Perhaps not.
I guess that's not a bad way. I mean, shit, against Randy Orton, ain't no shabbiness there. So, but yeah, man, I just kind of sucks about Triple H, man. That he's just not going to be able to wrestle. But I do understand why he's not. I mean, you can't go in there with that. He's got a goddamn defibrillator in his chest. Like,
Yeah.
like that's fucking scary right there.
I can only imagine. I've never had any, believe it or not, considering my lackluster choice of diet. I've never had a heart problem, but I can only imagine how terrifying that has to be. But I feel like the real question is, so when does he start this promotion that he's about to start that we all have been hearing about?
Yeah, it's called NXT. It's already started.
Oh, boy. Well, it wasn't him and Shane supposed to have their own promotion coming soon?
Yeah.
That was like, what, the fucking ringside news reporting and shit like that?
Him, Shane, and Cody, right? Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Cody. Right. Now, Shane, speaking of Shane, he is actually supposed to, it's rumored he's coming back at Mania. But he was thrown out of the building. But Vince yelled at his kid. Oh my God! Shut up.
That actually covers one of the ones I think I sent to you since we're talking about it. But yeah, that would be the ultimate in troll jobs, because you have right now they announced for the Saturday night one of WrestleMania, that it's Seth Rollins versus mystery opponent. And how amazing would it be if Vince came out and he cut the whole promo about how this person like had the guts to defy him and they went out on their own and they became their own man, and now he's coming back to the fold to honor the legacy. You let that word sit out there for a minute, of his family, the best wrestling family name in the business, and then you hear fucking Shane's music start. And a whole bunch of people that paid money to see, well, not a whole bunch of people, the 5 people who paid to see Cody are gonna, Brandy being one of them, is going to fucking overturning the hot dog carts.
Oh shit, that's funny. Yeah, there is that. Yeah, that would be good. I think that would be fucking amazing, actually, because everyone is expecting Cody Rhodes to be the one coming out. And you know what? If he does, great. That's fine. I don't care. Again, I don't give a shit if it was a work. If it's not a work, I don't care where the fuck Cody lands. I really don't. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. The rumor though is Shane may be coming back.
Yes, I pulled up the article and it's like it really just has no more information than what we just gave you.
Oh yeah,
because I'll read the first 2 paragraphs. This is by your friend Mike Johnson. WWE is bringing in Shane McMahon for WrestleMania 38 this weekend. PW Insider has confirmed with multiple sources. There is no word at this time whether McMahon will be appearing on the pay-per-view yet, but we are told that he'll be in town for the entire WrestleMania weekend. Ooh. And then it goes into a 5-paragraph description. I shit you not, 5 paragraphs of his former position in the company and the last time we've seen him.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But, yeah, that would be the best troll job in the world, man. I would fucking die laughing if they did that.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to keep watching WWE after WrestleMania weekend anyway. So I have really no stakes involved in this. So if that's what they do, I will fall off of the couch laughing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I mean, it's great. It's great no matter what. Like it's either the show leading up to that is going to be good, hopefully, and then that'll be like the icing, the cherry on top, or just the show will be bad, and then that'll be what saves it.
And you never know, we may get Stardust back. Oh, wouldn't you love to see that? My God, I would die. That would make me laugh too if he came right back out as Stardust, like he never left.
Mm-hmm.
That would fucking crack me up. I would love that right there because everyone's expecting the fucking American Nightmare neck tattoo and everything. Oh, I would love to just see him all covered in gold with a fucking stupid mask on, that neck tattoo covered up. That would make me happy.
I would love it as well. Yes,
that's what would make me kind of happy this week. That would do.
Yes. So above all, that is really what we're rooting for this weekend. It's not one particular match we're looking forward to,
right,
as much as it is just the humiliation of a man we don't personally know, but would revel in his embarrassment just the same.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the truth. The one thing I'm looking forward to isn't even a match.
It will be. It'll be night 2.
You think so?
I think that's why, because I could be wrong, but from what I read, a thing saying according to Owens, that's going to be the main event, like segment of night 1. Right. I feel like they wouldn't put that on last if it wasn't going to be like, tune in tomorrow to see a match between Kevin Owens and Stone Cold. I don't know whose voice that is, but
I don't know either.
That would be pretty cool, though, if they hired like the guy who did the fucking Super Friends or Justice League or whatever. Meanwhile, back at the Hall of Justice.
That would be good. They should hire
He's
that guy.
probably dead now. That's an old cartoon.
Yeah, somebody should hire that guy.
Hell yeah.
Probably gone, though. Probably gone. That was an old cartoon. That was one of the first impressions I used to work on. Was that guy. The meanwhile back at the Hall of Justice guy. Meanwhile, back at the Hall of Justice.
See, and can only be described as an upset, Christopher Kane's actually kind of rooting for us getting Cody instead of a bait and switch, because he has a hankering to type Cody Rhodes sucking his own dick again. It's been a minute, and he's been jonesing.
He's like, man, I miss listening to that shit. Don't worry, we got Jericho. Jericho can take over for him.
Sure.
It looks like he has been anyway. Yeah. But I mean, really, that's really, that's it. I don't even know where we were at that point. I got lost here. I was getting the AEW notes up. Because
we were just talking about kind of glancing over WrestleMania a little bit.
That's right.
Because we were talking about the Cody bait and switch potentially.
Yes.
And then you said the only thing you were really looking forward to this weekend was the KO show with Steve Austin.
Yes, I just want to hear the glass break. That's it. That's it. That's really all I need to hear. Once I hear the glass break, I can shut it off and be done with it. I'll go back to watching poker.
Honestly, I'm not familiar enough with this card to be able to pick out a match that really stands out.
Well, why don't we run that card down real quick?
Let's do it.
All right. I think you've got that. I got to be honest. I kind of actually, you got more than just that card. You've got like pretty much.
Yeah, I have the entire weekend, like all of the independent shows.
Jeez.
And everybody, pretty much anybody and everybody is doing a show this weekend in some form or fashion. GCW is doing like 20. Impact is doing 1. I'm going to pull up the WrestleMania itself card, because if I keep looking, I will have to scroll down a whole shit ton. But this here is from the Wikipedia. We have night 1, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio versus The Miz and Logan Paul. Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin with Madcap Moss. That might actually be pretty decent. Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boobs. The New Day. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Oh no, look out. Seth Rollins versus Question Mark. And of course, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey for night 1.
Yes.
So let's see.
That one might be good, to be honest with you. That one might be good, and honestly, Usos versus Shinsuke might actually be a sleeper too. Shinsuke and Boogs, that could be a sleeper.
Yeah. Yeah, that one could be good.
Definite piss break, Mysterios versus Miz and Paul. Yeah, we can. That would be a piss break. Yeah.
And honestly, I'm not even saying this to try to appease them, but really, I mean, there's Rollins and Cody. I don't like Cody, but I mean, it'll be a good match if it happens. The main event will probably be good, like you said. But this Drew McIntyre Corbin match might actually be pretty solid. I mean, for what it is, it's WWE style, so however you feel about that, but they're both good at doing that.
Yeah, you're right.
Wind's picking up, so that's probably not good, but
well, I got the card pulled up too. I got the card pulled up too. If you drop off, I'm going to pick up where you left off, sir.
All right, so we'll transition into night 2. We've got, oh boy, and you want to talk about a show stealer just right out of the gate. The Fatal 4-Way for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. I coughed because my body couldn't contain the lie. Queen Zelina and Carmella, the champions, wow, versus Sasha Banks and Naomi, versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, versus Natalya and Shayna Baszler. Yeah. By the by, her Natalya's sister, who they do the weird incest shit with, has an OnlyFans now, so good for her.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Also,
so does Nia Jax.
Also, Nia Jax, dude, she's gonna make so much money.
Tony Storm as well, but we'll get into that later.
Oh yes, Tony Storm has had a wonderful, wonderful end of March for herself.
Actually, let's double back on that. You think Nia Jax is gonna make a lot of money?
I actually do, dude.
Potentially.
You got also. I mean, let's not forget she was a plus size model before she was even in wrestling. So you know she'll listen. They don't have to do nudity. They don't have to.
See, I feel like she would make more money if she doubled down and actually did it.
Well, she would.
Because like right now, everybody else is like, it's essentially a fucking titty pyramid scheme. Is you pay for the first couple months, and then if they make enough money within a couple months, they show a little bit more. Theoretically, at some point, you get to the boobs. Which is how it's happened for like a lot of other people, but I don't know. Nobody really in the wrestling spectrum of that, outside of Sadie Gibbs, as I've seen do some topless stuff, but that's about the only one. She was like briefly on AEW for like 20 seconds. I think she was on like Dark or whatever.
I remember.
There's a very tentative connection.
I remember. I do remember. But I see Dirk put a wrap up there. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to embarrass myself. This match may not be bad. I mean, you got Sasha. And by the way, if you are in the Dallas area, for anyone that may be listening in the Dallas area, you can actually see Shayna Baszler and who else was it? Shayna and someone else is at a GameStop in Plano on Friday from 2 to 3:30. I forgot who the other person was. I know it was Shayna Baszler, and I cannot remember who the other person was.
I would not be caught dead at a GameStop these days. It was a shitty experience like years ago, but
all right. Anyway, if you want to at least see Shayna, she's there.
I mean, I'd pay about $20 here.
It was
GameStop employee.
Shayna and Shelton Benjamin.
Ah, yes. Okay. There you go. That does seem kind of fun.
I kept wanting to say it was Cedric Alexander, but I knew it was wrong. And I'm like, no, his teammate. There we go.
And for $20, Shayna will do something very interesting to you with a remote.
Oh. I don't know if I want it. I don't know if I want it there.
Well, Ricochet wasn't available. Anyways, Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn.
Yeah,
in an anything goes match. So that means more than likely the rest of the Jackass posse will be involved at some point.
Yeah, I would think that. What the hell? You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I suddenly just got like a blue screen on my computer here. And then it went away.
That's good.
No, it went away. It's gone. It's not even here anymore. It was a little creepy, but we'll just keep moving from there. One thing I can say, though, at least, Johnny Knoxville doing the Jackass stuff, at least, I mean, he doesn't give a shit if he gets hurt. Doesn't give a shit what happens to him, which could make for some good spots.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, SBC, it didn't seem like the blue screen of death because it didn't, cover my whole screen, but I had like the DOS prompt, the old command screen come up with a blue screen, but I don't know. Everything's fine, so let's just not even talk about it. But there could be some good spots, like I said, just because Knoxville doesn't give a shit if he gets hurt. What happened? Not that Sami's going to try to hurt him. I'm not going there. I'm just saying Knoxville is willing probably to do some crazy shit. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
Go for it, my man.
Derek has given me pushback on my dislike of GameStop. To that, I will say briefly, I went there. I bought a copy of Madden 2015 once.
Oh.
They said, "Do you know that there's a new version of this game out?" It was 2018. I would assume that if there was a Madden 2014, a Madden 2015, that they would have continued the chronological order of the franchise. But anyways, GameStop, terrible place.
Smart guy. I think it's been enough time. I think it's time to heal. Maybe you should go back to GameStop.
Apologize. The guy who absolutely no way in hell is going to be there.
No, don't apologize to anyone. Just forgive and forget, man. You know, that's what life's all about, man.
Yeah, I suppose.
And if that guy is there, smack him. Obviously, it's okay to do.
Well, this is like 2008, 18, I think I said. So he would have had to have been at GameStop for several years, which I feel like is punishment enough. Speaking of punishment,
he's probably the manager by now.
Oh, yes. I would hope so. Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory. Punishment as well. A match that Dave Meltzer himself said, who gives a shit?
I mean, yeah, it is kind of a who gives a shit match, but we've seen Pat do some pretty impressive shit. And, I mean, they are putting kind of I'm not going to say two green guys. I'm not going to say Theory's like this, green rookie, but this is kind of it's almost the blind leading the blind, if you will, a little bit.
Right. I don't have a problem with either of these guys. I like Pat McAfee, and I liked Austin Theory when he was with the Way. I haven't really seen his main roster run. I guess he's basically like Vince's lackey or whatever. But it was just for a WrestleMania match. Like when you think of and I'm not going to pretend like WrestleMania hasn't had some shitty matches, but like when you look back at the history of WrestleMania, this doesn't seem like the type of match that you would put on along the lines of like a Bret Hart, Stone Cold, or what have you.
Yeah, it's not. It's not, and for being a WrestleMania match, it's kind of. We'll see what happens. You know what? This match could surprise everybody. And you know what? I got a feeling it may. I got a feeling we'll get at least a couple of wows out of it.
Yeah, it could be.
Maybe an ooh. Maybe a ooh. That didn't look good. Maybe one of those. We'll see.
Well, there you go. That's actually a good point too. It's a live show. Someone could get hurt.
Oh well. I mean, come on. Come on, we all watch NASCAR for the crashes. Shut up. Okay.
But of course. So RK Bro, they're going to be defending their Raw Tag Team Championship against the Street Profits and Alpha Academy. How about that?
That'll be good.
Yeah, I think so.
That'll be good. Speaking of arcade.
I haven't watched Raw, so this match has probably happened in some iteration numerous times in the last month.
Probably.
But it'll be like the first time for me, so that'll make it enjoyable.
Yeah, and speaking of Arcade Bro, there was something going around today that WWE had taken marijuana off of the wellness policy. Nah, don't believe that shit. Go. If ever you see that, just go to their corporate website and you can look up their whole drug testing policy. It's all there.
I was also seeing that there's apparently starting to become pushback within Congress about the Delta 8. So if you enjoy your loophole weed, go ahead and buy that up while you still can, kids.
Well, that might be why they started selling a new kind called the THC-O flower.
I actually saw that. There's a smoke shop right next to the local delicious Mexican restaurant next to where I'm at. And I just saw THC 0. And I was like, what the fuck is that? But then I had food to pick up, so I didn't have time to stop in and inquire.
My wife got it last night. I've been reading up on it a little bit before I smoked. It doesn't look
I
bad.
actually saw that.
Oh.
There's a smoke shop. Hey, it's me. I don't know why the show decided to start playing.
I was about to say, that's fucked up, man. This stuff is supposed to do some psychedelic shit to you. It has been known if you oversmoke to have some psychedelic effects, but I do have a little bit here. She brought me a little eighth, a little $25 eighth. But I'm thinking that might be why they started just selling this now. We got the THC-0 here. So this is the old frosted kush, as you can see there. Not bad. Looks like a little dip can. Remember the old dip cans?
Yes. Oh, they're very much still a thing.
Oh, I still remember how to pack with the old. I dipped through high school, man. I used to fucking. But probably one of the reasons I have stomach issues is because I used to fucking gut Copenhagen in high school to get through because I couldn't smoke.
That's what I was looking for. In the back of my mind, I was trying to remember there was a brand that was like ever present because I never did it, but my grandpa to this day does it. And a bunch of people, obviously, in my high school, being where I'm at, they do it.
A bunch of guys at work do it because, a bunch of fucking cowboys at work. And the only thing that fucking I hate is they spit in my trash cans.
Yeah, that shit is disgusting.
I like literally, we had them buy gloves just so we can empty trash cans because we have to there's spit in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting. Anyway, I'm not trying to gross anybody out here. Move on from that. Please go to the next match, Mark. Please.
There you go. I have to fire it back up. There we go. We have Edge and AJ Styles. That will be a match that will start off good, but will probably run too long in Edge fashion.
I don't know. Heel Edge, maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, it's got potential for sure. All jokes aside, it could be good.
I'm just saying heel Edge doesn't go out there and do the old, I got to appease the audience. He'll go out there, do what needs to be done, win or lose, and then get out of there.
Yeah, perhaps. I
could be wrong. I am a lot.
I mean, that's probably the best, on paper looking match of this night. Card in general.
Have you not seen the next match?
Well, yeah, I spoke too soon because we've got Bobby. And how is this not a title? How is this not a main event? Because, they put Rock and Hogan out there, and then they had the gall to have Jericho, Triple H be the main event, and the crowd was dead because all the energy was spent on the match before. We're going to have a similar situation here because the real clash of the heavyweight titans, Bobby Lashley versus Omos.
Ooh.
Dear God, Bobby, please wear a back brace because you're going to have to do a lot of carrying, my boy.
Oh, we were looking for the barn burner. This match will set a barn on fire, I'll tell you that.
Well, yes, because the person inside will embalm themselves.
Don't say bomb.
They will. Yes. Just pour gasoline on the television. Just stand next to the television as it goes up.
You know what? It's going to be interesting to see how Bobby Lashley carries Omos through a match. I will say that, and I definitely think if anyone can do it, Lashley can. I'm gonna put a lot of faith in Bobby Lashley here. I got faith in Bobby that he can make this a hell of a match. I really do.
I mean, if they're smart enough to just let it be 5 minutes or under, it could be all right. I haven't seen Omos wrestle in a minute, but Bobby's a good enough wrestler to be able to kind of just have a Haas fight for a couple minutes, get in, get out without it looking too terrible.
Yeah. I do think so. So we'll have to see what happens. But go ahead, man. Hit it up.
And of course, the winner takes all match, the unification match for the WWE Universal Championship. You got Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman.
This match should be great. I don't know what else to say. This match really should be fucking good. I mean, it honestly should be. It should be a really good match.
I think so. I mean, they've spent how many months now building it? Like, I think at least since like December or so, or early January.
Right.
So they put a lot of time and thought and effort into the build. Hopefully it'll deliver.
Yeah, hopefully. But I mean, Brock Lesnar right now is out there doing amazing stuff. Matter of fact, I got a clip of happy cowboy Brock Lesnar.
Very good.
Here, let me minimize this a little bit, and I will once again share the old screeny screen and turn on the audio, and I will give it a second because it does take a second to go through. Are you hearing anything behind this, or is it sounding fine?
I get an occasional hiss, but
all right,
it's not that bad. If anybody else is getting that, go ahead and let us know.
I don't hear it, but as long as there's not a snake behind me, I'm fine. All right, let's go ahead and play this once again. We have happy Brock Lesnar. It's kind of refreshing to hear this Brock Lesnar. Here we go.
You see, for the last 20 years, that loudmouth Paul Heyman has been doing all the yapping for me, but I got to do this for you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw! That felt good, but it felt like it sucked. We're going to take a trip down.
Hold on. I love this Brock Lesnar.
So, guys, I'm not that good at promos, but I'm trying my best. Come on.
Yeah, I'm doing the best I can. And listen, you guys are helping me out. And you know what? I have not heard one complaint about Brock Lesnar not being able to cut a promo. He's doing shitty. I have not heard one complaint about Brock Lesnar and his talking ability on this run. I haven't, not one.
Certainly not from the live crowd.
No.
I would go ahead and just sit on my hat there.
Yeah, exactly.
This promo sucks. Like, shut the fuck up. I can hear you.
Even if he can't, he might. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got another less than a minute left. Here we go.
In the streets of Suplex City. And then I'm going to introduce you to the old beast of Broadway. After that, play along, that's all right. We're going to hit the carnival. We're going to go for a ride on the F5. And ain't nobody survives a ride on the F5. Yeah, Steve will be there too. Steve Austin. He's an ass kicker like me too. But he didn't kick my ass. All right, enough.
Dude, this is the best Brock Lesnar ever right now.
How did he become more Southern after he left the United States? That's wild. Because he sounds like he's about to bring out fucking Blake Shelton or something.
Oh,
he's like, we're hooting and hollering and having a good time, but go ahead and stick around here.
I mean,
we thank you for your time joining us at Dollywood.
Well, I mean, Canada's got a lot of country parts to it. I mean, the Yukon is basically just a bunch of country folk. So, I mean, that's just what it is. Canada's got country folk. Every place has fucking farms, and you need farms everywhere. And you know what comes with farms?
Cow shit?
Farm people.
There you go.
Good old country boys and girls.
It just always surprises me when people who don't have a Southern accent later on in life develop one. Because it's happened to everyone else in my family too.
Oh, my
Perhaps
nephews.
me as well, but I fought against it with the better essence of my being.
Oh, my nephews were here for a year, and you would think they grew up here.
Yeah, I can see it.
You would think they grew up here. I never really... Certain words I say may have some Southern to them. I know after a few beers I do start getting a little Southern. But
Sure.
I don't think I have it that bad.
No, not really. I can't really tell.
No, thank God I don't have the fucking northern Boston accent. Oh God. Oof, that's a bad one. Because all my family from Boston has the bad accent. So, luckily I didn't get that. But
you got lucky because not only do you not have the Boston accent, but like I feel like 75% of people from Boston look like Dan Henderson. Like they all just look like human pit bulls, and I don't know why, but that's how it happens.
Because you got to be tough to live in Boston, bro. Boston, the tough town, man. Tough town.
Bill Burr's got a little bit of that going on, not entirely, but just a little.
A little bit. He does kind of pit bull. The older he gets, he's getting a little more pit bully. But yeah, I don't know, man. This Mania is going to be interesting, and of course, night one wasn't a match, so we didn't mention the Stone Cold thing with KO. Like I said, I think that's going to be one of the best things coming out of it. And you think they're going to move a match over to night two? There's already 7 matches on each night right now. Huh. You really think they're going to add a match?
They could. I mean, we don't know how long this is. They want it to be. It seems like a match or two could get shuffled to the pre-show.
And no... I don't know. Could get shuffled. You're right. I believe there's like a 2-hour pre-show before both these shows.
Although it's hard to find one on this. Maybe the McAfee Theory one. Or the Tag Team Championship match. Because the Women's Tag Team Championship match, I don't think that's going anywhere. Because it seems like the betting money would be that's going to be how they bring back Bayley. But we'll see.
Oh, good. And again, we didn't do predictions because really we haven't been watching. Our predictions right now would just be fucking blind. So
probably still very accurate.
Probably
because I don't think they've changed the direction of their booking.
Oh yeah, well, we could probably nail at least 50% of these matches. I guarantee it. But why bother? I don't even think it matters. Everyone else is going to do predictions, so. What the hell at this point, right? Well, why should we bother?
As BC says, Conan doesn't like the new Brock Lesnar. I bet he's jealous. Conan, I don't think I've ever heard Conan speak positively about anything.
No, Conan doesn't like anybody unless you are, unless you smoke weed with him, or unless you've been in a tag team with him.
Even that, like, I can't imagine. I feel like if you gave Conan a lie detector, he probably wouldn't have good things to say about Hernandez.
Not a lot of people do, but I don't know.
I don't understand what it is about him that doesn't work. Because he moves well for a big guy. He's a fucking big jack dude. Can fly around.
I like
decent
Hernandez.
Enough charisma, but there's just something about him that just like is very underwhelming.
Yeah, obviously there is, because he really hasn't. I mean, he's never been to WWE, has he?
Not unless he was like briefly in developmental, but I don't believe so.
I think there might have been like a real early episode of one of the, not the main shows that he might have been on.
Because Brian Cage was very briefly in developmental.
Right. Yeah, that I do.
So if it was something like that, maybe, but I don't even think that happened. See, Hernandez, I'm going to have to really... Holy shit, that's the first result. I thought I was going to have to do some deep diving in Wikipedia.
What did it say?
Well, he was in arena football. That's wild.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Following the end of his arena football career, Hernandez trained under Tugboat Taylor and later Rudy Boy Gonzalez, the Texas Wrestling Academy. Debuted at Texas All-Star Wrestling in November 1996. Actually, here we go. 2000 and 2001, Hernandez worked for World Wrestling Federation as a jobber. That's Wikipedia's words, not mine. Appearing on episodes of WWF Jacked and in dark matches. He also wrestled for TNA, but people know that.
I thought I had seen a match. I used to have this huge collection of rare matches that I found.
Yes.
I found huge collection.
Tape in the woods. It happens to everybody. Normally it's naughty magazines. But Fox
Yes.
found an old. He found the compilation series of
It
Jacked.
was a compilation of weird old matches, and I think one of them might have been Hernandez on Jacked. I told you I thought it was one of those off, not Raw shows, one of those older ones. I was right, technically. It was either Jacked or Velocity or Heat. I knew it was one of those three.
Let's see.
And I actually thought Heat was a little bit too much for him. So, all right, 1 year he worked there, right?
It says 2000, 2001, so I guess he was just sort of briefly shuffled in and out.
Well, that could have been December to January.
Okay. Yeah, they don't really have a definitive time frame.
Hired December 30th, left January 1st.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's like impossible to find because the YouTube results are, of course, yielding Hercules Hernandez. Instead of, if you type WWF Hernandez, that's what you get.
Yeah, that's what I would. Yeah, you'd have to probably. I don't know what he went by there. Though I don't think he was Hernandez in there. That's probably why you can't find him. Might want to see what the name he went by in WWF, and maybe then you could find him. Maybe if you really want to do it.
Here we go. Oh, geez, he went against Haku.
Oh.
Which in a kayfabe sense and a real world sense is rough. I believe it or not, they actually have both of his matches. I'm assuming there's only like one or two, but it's him against Haku because he went under Sean Hernandez.
Okay.
And Crash Holly, one against Haku and one against Crash Holly.
Wow. There's a sad case there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's we don't need to get into all that right now. But yeah, man. Yeah, but as far as Mania though, I don't think on paper it doesn't look that bad. I think there may be a few matches that even look bad on paper that might actually come out in the end looking a little better than they look right here. I mean, like I said, that Knoxville Sami Zayn match on night 2 may be good. Again, just because Knoxville is not afraid to take bumps or what does he care? He'll heal up. Yeah. What does he care? Pat, McAfee versus Theory. We've seen McAfee actually be able to do some shit in the ring. That could be a decent one. I think Edge versus AJ is going to be fucking awesome. I really do. I've been kind of keeping a little bit of seeing a little bit of what Edge has been doing with this new heel thing. I'm loving it. And Lesnar Roman night 2 is going to be great. Night 1 doesn't look as good on paper, to be honest with you. Seth Rollins versus Shane McMahon.
Oh my god, it would be amazing. That would win night 1 for me.
God, I hope that's it. Charlotte versus Ronda.
Imagine if they fucking just put an absolute cherry on top. Shane McMahon comes out and he's got a fucking temporary tattoo of a $sign on his neck. It would be a fucking chef's kiss of a troll.
That would be the money sign neck tattoo. That would be beautiful. If he just came down, you're right. That would be fucking awesome. And definitely temporary. That would be fucking beautiful.
Oh, I'm hoping against hope that that's actually what happened. That's what I'm rooting for.
Oh God, I think we should name the show "Temporary Money Tattoo."
There you go.
Let's hope I remember it. Oh shit, that'd be fucking amazing, man. That really would be like one of the best trolls you could ever see. It's just Shane coming out. And and I would love it if they even gave him new music and he came out to this obnoxious fucking entrance too. The fucking whole place turns red. You got the red waves that Cody had back there, whatever the fuck was in his fucking, little entrance there. And then Shane and then the song turns.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes the money.
So I'm hoping so bad for this. That's what I want.
And again, it's not that I don't want Cody to, go to WWE. If he goes back, he goes back. I don't give a shit. But man, I mean, that'd be fine since I don't really watch WWE. That'd be great if Cody went back there,
You
honestly.
can't lose either way, because either way they troll their fans, or Cody does come back and we don't have to sit through Cody Rhodes promos anymore.
Oh, man. That'd be great. But at least we're getting Seth out there. Seth has been doing some good stuff, too.
Yeah.
Seth's been doing some pretty cool stuff, too. So, I don't know. Mania is going to be a little different, like I said, and especially since Smark, I don't know how much WWE you've been watching lately, but I know we don't really talk about it much unless there's something good that happens. So, I don't know, man. What are you feeling about these two nights here? What about night one?
I feel like night one actually is the one I'm looking forward to, just because of, like, it seems that, like, there's more potential for what could happen. Like, the mystery man match of, like, is it going to be the obvious thing, or are they going to swerve people? Because it's really not out of the realm of possibility that they do some fucking weird shit. And then, of course, whether or not what's going to come from the KO segment with Owens, if it's actually going to turn into an actual match that night or the next night, or, just how that ends up turning out.
Yeah. See, I'm looking more forward to night 2, but night 1, I am looking forward to the end of the show. Like I said, fucking glass breaking and the whole thing that goes on. I just want to see what happens with Owens and Stone Cold more than anything. So,
I feel like night 1's going to be more of a spectacle, and that's kind of just what I'm tuning in for. Because it's like I'm going to be watching a good majority of the Mania week shows, so I'm going to be, like, saturated with actual good wrestling. So just being able to get a little bit of a sideshow, or getting to be some of the pomp and circumstance, the spectacle of it all, I'd be all right with that.
And I mean, they're starting to do shows Thursday at 11 a.m.
Yep.
I see you've got that here, Smart. Might as well roll right into that. That's perfect, actually.
I am going to go ahead and copy and paste, because it is easier to read it that way than to read it off Messenger. But here we go. This is from Voices of Wrestling. They saved me the work. I'll read some of these here WrestleMania shows. Like you said, the first show is at 11 a.m. Glory Pro Wrestling Cemetery Gates.
Okay.
Not really a lot of people, a lot of, like, wrestlers on this card that most of us would know. But you're going to be thrilled to know that old Davey Richards is back in action. He's teaming with Rocky Romero versus Matt Fitchett and Davey Vega. So that's a thing. And my favorite part of this is scheduled to appear is Dan the Dad. He does a cool gimmick where he's Dan the Dad. And, like, his whole gimmick is that he's basically like a wrestling stepfather or something like that. Like, I saw him wrestle once. It was like a 6-man tag. And they went to do, like, a superplex. And he got into the ring and scolded them, made them come down off the top rope because they were going to get hurt.
Okay, that's fun.
So just... But, like, what makes me laugh is on this listing, they have all these matches listed, and then the last bullet point just says Dan. So it's like, also Dan is going to be there.
Dan, and then it says scheduled to appear Alley Catch, Dan the Dad. So they do push it a little more. Now, Smark, are you not a Davey Richards fan?
He's all right. I don't mind him, but I might be misremembering things, but I seem to remember, like, back in the day, you guys would clown on him quite a bit.
Well, yeah, I guess I can. For those who don't know, what happened is it was on the Wrestling Umbrella page when it was the group, when it was the THT group, and we were having a conversation about something in that group. I don't think any of us knew Davey Richards was a member of the group. I didn't know either. And Shaheen said, he said something about, I forgot which wrestler it was, but Shaheen made a valid, opinion about a wrestler. And Davey Richards jumped at him. "What's your resume, big guy?" And Shaheen's like, "Do you want to know where I work?" I mean,
that would have been great if he literally, the fucking cover page and all, just copy and pasted his resume.
He said he almost did. But that's where that whole thing came from. I actually liked, I actually don't mind Davey Richards. I actually kind of liked the guy. I thought it was pretty funny that he actually got angry enough. It wasn't even a comment about him, but it was it was someone else, and Davey Richards jumped in, and next thing you know. But I mean, I basically, his wrestling name is damn close to my real name, so gotta have a little respect for the guy for that.
And that wasn't really even a shot at him. Just by law, Davey Richards has to refer to everybody as big guy. Because to him, they are. It doesn't matter who it is. Like, I'm sure Shaheen's taller than him, but I'm sure all of us are taller than him that are on the call-in in the chat. It's by law he has to refer to everyone as big guy.
He would probably have to refer to my 13-year-old as big guy. He's tall. He's tall. He's like 5'8" already, man. He's fucking tall.
Yeah, he's got to beat then for sure.
Now, I do have to ask, though.
Yes?
Who is Hustle and Muscle? Because I like the name.
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
To be honest.
I also like the name Technical Difficulties for a tag team. I like that.
Yeah, I like that as well.
I like that one. Very, very, very nice. Technical Difficulties. Actually, all these teams are pretty good. Technical Difficulties versus Fly Deaf versus Alpha Omega versus Hustle and Muscle. This is like the fucking tag teams of great names match.
There's also a lady on the show named Tootie Lynn, which is a cool name. Maybe not a wrestling name, but just Tootie Lynn. Like if somebody was a musician named Tootie Lynn, I would listen to them because they would probably play some kick-ass jazz.
Maybe she was on the Facts of Life or something. Maybe she'll tell you about them.
There you go.
And then she's wrestling like the most generic wrestling name, Janai Kai.
Mm-hmm.
It's like...
You would like her though.
Oh, really?
Her whole gimmick basically is she's like female Karate Kid. She has the fucking headband and the whole like outfit and everything. She's like big into the whole martial arts thing, but like 80s Karate Kid style martial arts, not the UFC pretend.
So it's more like a Cobra Kai kind of gimmick.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's go ahead. All right, let's move on a little bit, Smark. I didn't mean to stop you, but a few things caught my eye.
Yeah, we're gonna skip over some of these shows because some of these shows got canceled and things like that. But 3 p.m. also Thursday. Surprised it's that early. We have Josh Barnett's Bloodsport number 8. You got John Moxley versus Biff Busick.
Wow.
You have Minoru Suzuki versus Chris Dickinson. That should be fun.
Ooh, that's going to be brutal.
Oh, yes. Josh Barnett versus Jonah, the former Bronson Reed. I'm curious about this one. John Hennigan, formerly Johnny Nitro, Morrison, Mundo, whatever you would like to call him, versus Simon Gotch. I'm surprised he's still wrestling. You don't hear that much from him. I'm curious to see what Hennigan's going to do in that format. Yeah. He's not really known as being like a, brawler per se, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it definitely will be. But and Simon Gotch, I think the last time I heard of him was the last Bloodsport.
Yeah, actually, for real, me too.
Yeah,
because he does do all of these Bloodsports.
Yes,
so that was like the last time I had heard of him or seen him. He was on a Bloodsport show.
Keep going. This is a fucking hell of a card, and look, right back down there, we got Janai Kai again.
Yeah. Alex Coughlin versus Slade. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know who either of them are. Ninja, I like Ninja Mac. Ninja Mac versus Yoya. Royce Isaac versus Bad Luck Tito. Bad Luck Tito is cool. I haven't really seen a lot of his matches, but he just looks like somebody who straight out of Central Casting for like Bouncer in a bar movie. Why? He's just a big motherfucker. He's got tattoos. Like you wouldn't fuck with him. Yuya Uemura versus Mike Bailey. Timothy Thatcher, he's on the scene again.
All right.
Versus JR Kratos. I'm actually looking forward to that. I like Timothy Thatcher. And Zeta Yang, I think that's how it is, versus Marina Shafir.
All right, Marina
Saw a little bit of her earlier on Dynamite.
Yeah, it seems she's all elite or on her way to being all elite, which I've got no problem with. I'm a little surprised WWE got rid of her. I thought they saw some good things for her, but good for her, definitely. This is not a bad. I mean, a lot of big names on this card. It's gonna be this Moxley versus fucking Biff Busick, former Oni Lorcan, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a fucking. But this Minoru Suzuki versus Chris Dickinson. Dickinson is fucking nuts. Matter of fact, it's funny. We were talking about that before when you dropped off there. We were talking about Kimberly and some accusations she'd put up. But Chris Dickinson was the one me and Shaheen talked to him right after he did the whole thing with Kimberly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he has no problem, taking a few fucking hits, getting fucking bloody and, getting brutal with it. So, and obviously we know Suzuki's actually known for that style. So you got one guy who's known for this style, one guy who doesn't mind working that style. This match is going, that Suzuki Dickinson match might be the fucking one to tune into.
Yeah. I don't know if this is going to be his very first match back or not, but he's just now recently getting back because he broke his leg a couple months ago.
Right.
So he's been out of action for a minute now. So
right.
He's back in the swing of things. Skip forward a little bit. We got MLW Intimidation Games Friday night, 7 p.m. MLW World Heavyweight Championship. Alex Hammerstone versus Jacob Fatu. Love him. Versus Mads Kruger. Mads Kruger. He's got a horror themed gimmick, so it's up my alley.
Yeah.
And of course, Dave Richards again will be checking the resume of Richard Holiday. We have LA Park versus LA Park Jr. versus Pagano, and of course, who else would Pagano team with but Gangrel? They're of course longtime friends. I don't know that. It's a weird addition, but I'll take it. It's fun.
Go for it.
Enzo's got an open challenge.
Oh,
that'll be interesting because they're going to give Enzo a microphone, so that'll be fun. Women's featherweight belt. That's an interesting concept that they do. They have like weight divisions in the women's division. I'm trying to make it seem more like a legitimate sport, which you don't really see, but that's kind of cool. You don't really see that in women's wrestling.
No.
Shazza McKenzie versus Holodead. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
And this one, I've been dreading saying his name for a minute now. EJ Nduka and Kelvin Tankman, probably butchered that name. Nduka, anyway. Versus the Bumaye Fight Club, which I actually got that part right. So, 50-50. MLW World Middleweight Championship, again, weight classes. Myron Reed versus question mark. So, either Shane McMahon or Cody Rhodes. Look forward to that. So
I don't know why I found that so funny, but just the way you said it was great. It was like so nonchalant.
At 8 p.m. we have 8 p.m. Friday, so we're winding down on Fridays. Joey Janela's Spring Break 6, Part 1. So you got 2 parts of Joey Janela's Spring Break this year because Joey Janela has extra time in his hands now.
Where's that one? Okay, we're back at Fair Park. The last one was at Gillies, by the way, which is a obviously famous bar from the old Urban Cowboy movie. It's not the same place, but anyway. All right.
If it's still a bar setting, that'll be kind of fun.
Yeah, and these ones, these that are at Fair Park, if you're into little horse racing, right there for it, brother.
I can see Joey Janela being into horse racing. He seems like the type.
This is a racetrack, and the weather here is supposed to be fucking beautiful for the next few days. Little bit of rain tomorrow, but after that, it's going to clear up, and we're in the fucking 70s and 80s the rest of the fucking week.
That's actually interesting you say that because last year they had the opposite problem. Last year, WrestleMania was in Florida, and they were doing a lot of shows like how we're talking about. There's doing shows in the afternoon and middle of the day. And the first day, they kind of got a better handle on it as time went by. But the first day, like multiple wrestlers got sick. Matches had to stop because people were like dehydrated, throwing up, and I think somebody even fainted. Like it was a real fucking nightmare of a time.
Then you don't want to come to Texas because you think it's humid in Florida. Wait till you don't have an ocean breeze.
Well, it's going to be a little bit different, I think, because some of the venues are going to be indoors this time. Last year was all outdoor.
Actually, all the venues you've mentioned are indoor, so.
Yeah, so that was the problem. The crux of the problem last year was, we were early into COVID, so everybody was doing outdoor.
Right. Right.
But yeah, there's gonna be more indoor shows now. And 8 p.m., like we're talking about, Joy Janela Spring Break Part 6, Part 1. We have the GCW World Championship. John Moxley defending his title against AJ Gray. They book him to be super strong, so that actually is a bit of a hefty match. Joy Janela versus X-Pac.
Ooh.
Joy Janela turned heel and turned on X-Pac in a tag match that they had a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
So they got a little feud going.
All right.
GCW Ultra Violent Championship match. Alex Colon versus John Wayne Murdoch.
Mm-hmm.
You have the GCW Tag Team Championship. The Hate Club, that is Nick Gage and Matt Tremont. There we go.
Okay.
Versus Second Gear Crew and the Briscoe Brothers.
That's going to be fucking insanity.
Yeah, it should be fun. I'm looking forward to that. We have Blake Christian versus AR Fox. That's good if you like high flying. And I do, so I enjoy that. And the last match, or kind of the opening match, since it's the bottom of the card, we have Allie Katch versus Mickie James.
That
and
will be good.
She
for
had put out a video where she's kind of taking on the role that Mickie James took on when she was feuding with Trish Stratus, of how she grew up to a big Mickie James fan, and it's her fantasy to be in there with her. She kind of implied that there might be some a very famous spot might be reenacted. So look forward to that, I guess.
Oh, fucking old fucking what's his name over there? Mickey's husband.
Aldis. Nick
Aldis. He's fucking over there praying for a goddamn three-way. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Make him the special referee, I guess.
Ooh, I would referee that one.
For sure. Let's see.
I'm following.
We have the Mark Hitchcock Memorial Show. It's usually done by High Spots. We got Biff Busick versus Minoru Suzuki. That'll be fun. Mark and Jay Briscoe versus Homicide and Low Key. Anytime Low Key is involved, it can be fun.
Oh yeah.
For any number of reasons, he may or may not show up. Bandito versus Mike Bailey. That'll be fun. Tomohiro Ishii versus Timothy Thatcher. I don't know why I hit a roadblock on that. Mia Yim versus Athena, formerly Ember Moon. You got Ice Austin, Black Taurus, Josh Alexander. They're teaming up versus Michael Oku, Ray Horace, and Laredo Kid. And you got Team Onita versus Team PCO. Anytime PCO is involved in something, you know crazy shit is bound to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And we scheduled to appear, of course, Onita is on the card, Robert Gibson, Ricky Morton, and John Morrison. So you got a little bit of Rock and Roll Express.
All right, my man.
I'm going to keep skipping a little bit over here. What do we got? We're moving on to Friday. And if I find a card that's interesting. MLW Azteca Underground. That's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
We got LA Park versus Jacob Fatu. Aramis versus Gino Mendia. Mini Abismo Negro versus Aries. And question mark, man, he's getting booked all over the place.
Man.
Versus El Dragon, Micro Man, who may or may not be Austin Aries, and Aerostar. The joke being that Micro Man is roughly about 3.5 feet tall.
I got the joke. That's why I'm laughing. I totally got that joke.
For those that don't watch MLW.
I don't, and I still got that joke because I've seen Micro Man before.
It's pretty awesome. Octagon Jr. versus Matt Cross.
That'll be good.
Yeah. Holodead versus Cheek Tormenta.
Okay.
Flamita versus Bandito. I just enjoy doing these names. Hammerstone and the Von Erich brothers.
Nice.
Versus Mads Kruger, Richard Holiday, and King Mortes, which is the former Mil Mortes of Lucha Underground. Got Enzo versus Casey Navarro. And the National Open Weight Championship, Alex Kane versus Puma King. Versus your favorite box, ACH is going to be in the house. Versus Myron Reed.
Look, maybe he's got his shit worked out by now. He was. I'll just say that maybe he's got his fucking shit worked out.
Maybe it seemed like he took some time away. I hadn't seen him. He was on a GCW show in February. That was
I think he needed.
But he resurfaced.
I think he needed some time. I think he needed to maybe go to the top of the mountain or something. Man, he was sounding a little. Not only was I not, I was actually worried about the guy. He was not sounding well for a while there.
Well, he started off reasonably enough, and then he just like kind of, when he had the form, he didn't step off the soapbox quick enough, and he just like kept going, and it sort of became less and less reasonable the more things he complained about, and then after a while, it became like, dude, just sign off of Twitter for a little while.
Which he did. He just kind of disappeared, which I think was the smartest thing he did, and he's been low key, not that low key. But he's just been low key about it, and I think that was the fucking way to go. I really do. And like I said, I hope this guy's got his shit worked out. And I'm also noticing that a lot of these people a lot of these promotions just basically booked venues and just they're keeping their venues going. Good way to do it, man. Get as many people, and man, some of these. I mean, look, we've got John Moxley on 2 shows already. You got Matt Cross on a couple of shows, I think, already. The Von Erichs are supposed to show up at another show. Man, this is a money-making weekend for these guys, and fucking, it's awesome to see.
Oh yeah, because I mean, the venues are all close to each other, so you get multiple people that are out there, get multiple bookings throughout, all 3-4 days.
Oh yeah,
however long they're running it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel bad for Janai Kai. She's got to work at 11. She's got to work at 3, and I think there was another match I saw her in that we skipped by at like 5, and I'm like, holy shit.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of every year there's at least 1 or 2 people that'll become like the marathon man or woman that are on a bunch of different shows. It's good to it's good for people that are in her position of still being new,
right,
to kind of get the name out there. Like I remember the last year it was really big for Lee Moriarty, and now he's in AEW. No. So it's a stepping stone for sure if you play your cards right.
All right, nice.
All right, so we got 3 p.m. We're going back to the Ember. What was the billing? Embarcadero?
Embarcadero.
Embarcadero. Okay. There we go. Fair Park in Dallas, Texas. 3 p.m. It's GCW for the Culture.
Oh, yeah.
We got AJ Gray versus Darius Lockhart. Hoodfoot, I like him, versus Billy Dixon. Mm-hmm. Got Too Cold Scorpio. He's still in the game.
Oh, yeah.
He's taking on Brian Keith. Hitmakers versus Shane Taylor Promotions, formerly of Ring of Honor. I always think this is interesting because they did this at the last couple For the Culture shows. The impacts. That's right. I'm just going to pluralize all of these words. Impacts, Knockouts, Worlds Championships. Tasha Steeles versus Big Swoles. So Big Swole is, I think this is going to be her GCW debut. I could be wrong about that, but we had talked about her before. She didn't end up resigning with AEW, and now here she is.
Well, good. I'm glad she landed somewhere. I always thought she had a great look and a great build, and really thought she had some potential. I think someone could definitely see her as an asset. So good for her.
Yeah. And now this is the match of that show that I'm most looking forward to. We got Rich Swann versus JTG. JTG is actually last year. He had some really good matches with some unlikely people. Like him and Jimmy Lloyd, believe it or not, actually had a really good match. And him and Mance Warner had a good match. So he's putting in the work out there.
Sasha Baron Corbin says this is too much wrestling. Sasha Baron Corbin, if you were looking at this webpage, he's about a quarter of the way through the page.
Yes, I'm skipping a large majority of these shows. Just in the name of
I think we're only probably gonna do a couple more, and then we'll.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, we talked about this a little bit, so we'll talk about it a little bit more. We got the New Japan Lone Star Shootout. It's at 5 p.m. Friday. You got Chris Dickinson versus Tomohiro Ishii. Jay White versus Mike Bailey. You got Juice Robertson, David Finlay, and Kevin Knight. Oh, and Daniel Garcia, he's on the team as well, versus Mascarada Dorada. And that's the former Grand Metalik, Clark Connors and Carl Fredericks, and Yuya Uemura. You got Ren Narita versus Rocky Romero. This is what we talked about before. Killer Cross versus Minoru Suzuki. And Alex Colon, Fred Rosser, the former Darren Young, and DKC versus Tom Lawler, J.R. Kratos, and Royce Isaacs. The one time I don't pluralize something. And then the last match there, Blake Christian versus Jonah.
Jonah once again. Nice. And, wow, Killer Cross versus Suzuki. Ooh, that could be a good one, too, right there. Now, Killer Cross, we were talking about, but not on air, Mark.
Yes.
You know what? I should pull that up. Someone today put out a video of Killer Cross, former Karrion Kross, doing an impression of Jesse Ventura. Now, I gotta say, I've watched many impersonations. I've been a fan of all that kind of comedy before. Frank Caliendo and a bunch of people like that, and I love it. This may be the best Jesse Ventura I've ever fucking heard in my life. Give me a second. Let me share the screen so Smart can hear this with all of us. Let me do that real quick, and I will go ahead. It is unmuted. Okay, we can go ahead and play this.
Don't tell me you don't have 4 more reps in you. Come on, Chris. Don't tell me it didn't happen. I was there.
Jesse Ventura's here?
I was doing tricep extensions in the Gulf of Tonkin. I'm a frogman. So are you, Chris. Come on now. We ain't got time to bleed here in the gym. Don't tell me.
All right. There it was. I'm sorry, but y'all might have thought that was actually Jesse Ventura.
He loses half a point for breaking character with the laugh, but otherwise it's 9.5. I'd give it out of 10.
That was
He fucking nailed it.
That was beautiful. That was great. Especially, I mean, all the stuff he's talking about is all stuff Jesse. I was a frogman. I was a Navy SEAL. That's all stuff Jesse gets into, man. And I was there. That's another one of Jesse's. I was there, brother.
Oh, man, that would be a gimmick.
That was great.
Like you have Jay Lethal doing the Black Machismo thing. You just team him up with Killer Cross as Jesse Ventura.
Oh my God, I'm not sure that would work, but I don't know. That was great. I just thought that was a great video, and I'm like, I have got to play this on the show tonight. This is the best Ventura I have ever fucking heard. And like I said, I love impersonations and all that shit. Frank Caliendo, Pablo Francisco is another one who's very good at impersonations. But Frank
in the realm of Jesse Ventura too, James Adomian is a really good one of Jesse Ventura.
Really?
Yeah, it's fucking spot on too. He did like back when he was allegedly going to be running for presidency, did a lot of like spoof campaign videos where he talks about like taking on the New World Order, but he goes into great detail about it being like Holland Ash, and it's good stuff.
Nice. All right. Well, what else you got? Well, you can do a couple more if you want, or one more, or whatever you want to do. Oh shit! There's one right in Addison. Hold on. Wait a minute. When this is Thursday at 7 in Addison. I work in Addison. West Grove.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are they doing this? West Grove.
I've never. Well, I've heard of one of them. 2. I've heard of 2 people on this card.
Well, I'm just sitting here thinking, like literally, this. Well, I mean, this is a local Texas place right here. That's why this is a local Texas promotion here. I mean, I'm just trying to think where this. These are businesses. Where West Grove is businesses.
All right, 3. I keep seeing more people that I know as I read this card.
All right, go ahead and run it down real quick then.
All right, this is the Addison show, 7 p.m. Texas style wrestling, unfoolish business. What a name for a show.
Yeah.
We have La Rebellion, and I said that as a white guy to be funny, versus Los Misfits. Frank Stone versus Bam Bam Malone. We all know Bam Bam Malone. Paola Blaze.
Oh, come on, Paola
Blaze. And you do have to stutter when you say Blaze. It's part of the gimmick. It's like Bubba Ray Dudley when he first debuted WWF. Versus Mariah May. Odinson versus Ivan Warsaw. That's a cool ass name. I have no idea who he is.
That's a very scary name. I don't want to get near this show now. Go ahead.
Dog Nation which that could be anything, versus Oh My God, plural. So Oh My Gods, OMGs, OMGS is how it's spelled. Soda Pop Superfly Hendrix. I want to see what this gimmick is. I don't know who this is,
Oh my
what this
God.
is, or why this is. But I will absolutely look up Soda Pop Superfly Hendrix on YouTube later.
Wasn't Soda Pop Emilio Estevez's name in the Outsiders movie?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it was. It was either Emilio or Rob Lowe was Soda Pop. Go ahead, please.
Well, there you go. I got lost here for a second. Okay, so Soda Pop Superfly Hendrix, was that Hernandez, versus Tamilian Vanish, is my guess at how you pronounce that name.
Sure.
We have Misty Marks versus Roche Chanel. She does a little bit of AEW Dark. Versus Gasolina.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Arsenal versus Damien 666, who I've never actually seen wrestle, but he's like been in like the Mexican like independent wrestling scene for like 87 years. He's like the Christopher Daniels of Mexican independent wrestling. And Haas Holding, which is apparently just a guy named Haas Holding, versus Ricardo Rodriguez, which I did not know he was still in the game. So good for him.
All right. Now, I did find a picture of Superfly Smart.
Soda Pop Superfly Hendrix?
I did find a picture, and it's right there. Oh, oh, God. I don't know what that is. Hold on. Oh. I just spammed our chat room. Sorry about that, folks. I did not mean to do that. Hold on a second. Let me pull that picture up. There we go. Oh, he's got a Facebook page. Okay, let me get this one more time. Try that. Let me go back into. I'm once again sorry. I just spammed the old chat room there. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. All right.
That is somehow not at all what I expected him to look like, and exactly what I expected him to look like.
There you
simultaneously.
He
has what appears to be a Rush album cover tattooed on his chest.
Why do I want to call him a low rent Damian Priest?
Maybe.
That's what I want to call him by the looks of him. A low rent Damian Priest.
He has a very large, and I mean very large, owl tattooed on his chest. And he's wearing some kind of a mink or a fur coat.
It's so colorful, the tattoo. It's like he's got all these darker, like, tribal tats on him. And then suddenly there's this giant, colorful tattoo. Beautiful tattoo, I'm not going to lie. Beautiful owl, like a little phoenix, almost like an owl coming through a phoenix. Nice shit.
He kind of looks like what you would expect to see in like one of those like WWE 2K games when they're having you like come up through the ranks of the independent scene and they just give you like generic independent wrestlers, where it's just like they have some wacky outfits that they throw on, just creative wrestlers.
Yeah. Oh, see, SBC says he looks like a rip-off Baron Corbin. I can see that too. Baron Corbin with that horrible tattoo. Since we're talking about horrible tattoos, thank you, SBC, for reminding me of Baron Corbin's horrible tattoos. And his stomach also talks to you.
Yes, indeed. I was looking at his Facebook page.
Yes, on
the 27th of November last year, he wrestled Charlie Haas, who, my God, poor guy, he looks rough these days.
Yeah, he
been through some shit.
He really drank himself into some problems.
Working hard to earn that Jannetty moniker, huh?
Man, that's even. It's an even sadder story.
Well, yeah, I know what happened with his brother and all that. That was terrible, but
yeah,
I feel for the guy.
But
now I've lost my place here on the WrestleMania weekend of shows.
I don't think it matters.
Just didn't seem to be doing well as a segment.
We're like not even halfway through this. I mean, put it this way, folks. If you're in Dallas, there's wrestling everywhere right now. I mean, anywhere you go, any city you're in, there's something. I can't believe that one's in Addison. Like literally, Addison is a tiny little city. I work in Addison. Like, actually, put it this way: it's so tiny. I work in Carrollton, but if I walk across the street, I'm in Addison.
Yeah.
It's just a tiny little fucking little city. And it's funny, I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but I'm going to anyway. That show I've talked about called The Unit, with all the military guys in it, which it is on Hulu if you want to watch it. One day they're talking, and next thing you know, they're at Addison Airport right here in Texas, and they really were there. I didn't realize that, but I looked it up, and they actually really did that scene from the airport. I used to literally work close enough to the airport, and I still do. But when I was working for my family, our place was right, like that's where they do the fireworks on July 4th at the airport. Where we unloaded trucks is where we used to watch the fireworks. We were that close. I mean, the airport was right across the street. So I don't know, just whatever. But
I'll hit you with another one here real quick.
Yeah.
This is the last card that we'll get into, because there was 2 matches that I was actually excited about that we didn't mention, and they're both on the same show. So it'll be Joey Janela Spring Break 6 Part 2. We have, and I'm going to read these like outside of the order. We have Biff Busick versus Tony Deppen, Mike Bailey versus PCO. This is what I'm interested in. You have Minoru Suzuki versus Effie.
Ooh.
That'll be a very interesting clash of styles.
As is the next match, believe it or not, it's actually a little bit of a different clash of styles also.
Oh, but the best part is that they do not tell you who the managers in this match are. Because we have Matt Cardona with Chelsea Green, that's not a surprise to anyone, versus Chris Dickinson with Missy Hyatt.
Oh, this could get interesting.
So it is all kinds of, it's got big like ECW catfight potential, I think.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this match actually may get some fucking, may get talked about. You got Dickinson, who, like I said, he's willing to fucking work whatever you want to work. You want to work stiff, he'll work fucking stiff. And Matt Cardona, who right now doesn't seem like he gives a shit. He'll bleed, he'll get his ass kicked, he doesn't give a shit. This definitely could turn out to be one of those more talked about matches of the weekend. Seriously.
And real quick here, the clusterfuck, the greatest clusterfuck battle royal. I'm not going to read everybody who's in here.
No, do.
But 3 oh, okay, we'll do it.
Yeah.
We have Maven. That Maven is going to, Tough Enough Maven is going to be in there, along with Jimmy Wang Yang.
I love that guy.
Jazzy Yang.
Oh, cousin.
Shazza McKenzie. Nasty Leroy. Kevin Matthews.
Okay.
Edith Surreal. Lord Adrian, I want to say, of the Walmart dudes. I don't know who this is, but this sounds like somebody ripped off our podcast.
Kind of, but the next name is where really I'm baffled, but go ahead, please.
And there's a name after this that's even more baffling that I'll hit you with that was not announced here. The last of on this card here, the names listed, we have Sean Ross Sapp is going to be in the Clusterfuck Battle Royal, but the final entrant announced on Twitter, Buff Bagwell, is going to be in the Battle Royal.
Dude, he is not looking good.
He looks better than you think. He put out a video yesterday.
Okay.
And his face looks a little bit rough, but physically, like, he seems like he's doing all right physical condition wise. He seems like he could be able to get in there and like do a quick spot or two and then get out.
And I believe didn't DDP take him into the accountability crib?
Maybe.
I think he might have, which I actually hope he did. I mean, last time we played a video of Buff Bagwell, we were worried about his fucking, health and well-being. So, that was, 6 months ago? So, I'm still kind of worried about the guy. But, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how he does. But, yeah. There's so much more wrestling, guys. Just, I'm sure if you type in, just Trust me, you'll find it. It's there. My God.
There's an Impact show. There's a Ring of Honor show. There's a couple more GCW shows.
And
then there's smaller independent wrestling shows. So if you're in the Texas area, or if you're on like Fight TV or whatever, that's almost all of these are going to be on Fight TV. So it's going to be a big old week of wrestling.
Yeah, and I mean these shows go from Fort Worth to Addison to Arlington to, which is where the AT&T Arena is, to Bedford, which is you're going to be driving a little bit to go out to Bedford. Fort Worth, you're going to be doing about a 20-minute ride. Anywhere if it says Dallas, you're going to pretty much be within a 15, 20-minute. You could even Uber something out there. But all these shows are pretty much right in the Metroplex area, as they say. Actually, believe it or not, the ones in Bedford are going to be the less crowded ones if you really want to get out there. Those are the real local shows, though, that run every weekend. Are the ones out in Bedford. And I think I saw one out in Haslett, which is another. That'll be a little bit of a drive for you. But anyway, good stuff, man. My God. I'm scrolling through the rest of this list, and I feel it's like I can't stop scrolling. I mean, it's just there, and I mean, everywhere. Jesus. Okay, enough. I can't look at this list anymore.
It's crazy. I always make a note to keep up with all the WrestleMania weekend shows. I've been doing that for the last, at least 5 years or so, and I've never seen this many fucking shows. Like, everybody who kind of saved because there was, pandemic the last 2 years.
Right.
Like, everybody is shooting their fucking wad this year. There's so much wrestling this
There
year.
is, man. It's fucking ridiculous how much there is, but holy shit. And SPC was asking, is that Maven Bentley? I think that's his last name, isn't it?
No, Maven Bentley, I believe, was the CZW guy.
Oh, then no, not that Maven. No.
We're talking about Tough Enough Maven.
Yeah.
I'm going to look up Maven Bentley to make sure that I'm not wrong.
Maven.
But I'm pretty sure Maven Bentley was CZW. Yep, he was CZW. He was like with Blackout for a minute, and then he became like the on-air owner, maybe the real owner. I don't know that much about GCW history.
Yeah, no. We're talking about Maven that took Taker out of the Rumble.
Maven Hoffman is his last name.
There you go. But he did take Taker out of the Rumble one year.
Yeah. He had a fucking, his Titantron was literally just him drop kicking the Undertaker, and then he suplexed Taz once on, and they showed that over and over again.
That's all they needed to show. That was it. It was done. It was over. No one cared.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. I guess we can move on a little bit. Smart. I've got really one story because I talked about the Dave and Buster's in the movie theaters. While you were trying to get back on, or the power was out. So I've only got one. You've got a couple. So what you got, man?
In the process of getting that all dug up. But yes, I noticed that because I had seen that they were going to be showing WrestleMania at some movie theaters as well. So that's kind of interesting.
Yes, as long as you're not in Texas.
Oh, yes, they made sure to make that a big note.
Yeah.
You cannot be in Texas, of course, because they're trying to, I guess, do like a blackout for that. Trying to encourage people.
I see what they're doing. I get it. I'm not going to complain. So,
I believe this is actually the last thing that I have since we talked about the Shane McMahon thing. But boy, oh boy, do I have a doozy, because this is one of my favorite things to talk about. A couple of months ago, we talked about the United States of America versus Vince McMahon. And in case you've forgotten, there's been an update about this from F4W Online. Showrunners announced for United States of America versus Vince McMahon. There is still no announced distribution partner or release date for the series. WWE and Blumhouse Television announced that Noah Harpster and Micah Fitzerman Blue will both write and be the showrunners for the United States of America versus Vince McMahon drama series. So they're just straight up telling you that this is going to be fabricated. The two entities are co-producing. It will truly be a different neighborhood for Harper and Fitzerman Blue. I like that name.
Mm.
As they wrote, it sounds like a light beer, like Labatt Blue, Fitzerman Blue.
Ooh, I like that.
There you go. So these two gentlemen, Harper and Fitzerman Blue, Harpster, and Fitzerman Blue,
the Harpster,
the old Harpster.
Mm.
They wrote the screenplay for the Tom Hanks movie A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Yes,
based on the life of kids TV star and pop culture icon Fred Rogers, aka Mr. Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
And don't worry, it gets better, because these two will be the two that I just mentioned. The two will also be executive producers, in addition to, get ready, it's not WWE product without Kevin Dunn and several Blumhouse executives. So we're going to be getting, hopefully, just a shit ton of shaky cam during this series.
Yeah, I guess so. And obviously these guys have worked together. They worked together on the movie Transparent, or not the movie, but the TV show, the Amazon original Transparent, and Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. So they've worked together before. And I guess, after 3 movies, they should work together well.
But the only downside is there is still no TV/streaming partner for the project, nor any public production schedule. The product was first announced last July, so things are going well, I suppose.
Well,
and it is WWE's first scripted drama.
Here's the funny thing. Do you know what Peacock is?
I do know what Peacock is.
Peacock is a streaming service that WWE actually has shows on. They can't get Peacock to pick this motherfucker up.
I hope to God, even if it's just them like putting the money out themselves, even if this is a WWE Films joint, because it's gonna be so fucking wild. Because a little bit of the description, the show will delve into WWE during the 1990s. At the time, Rupert Murdoch had purchased the New York Post to further his massive infiltration.
Ooh.
See, I can say that, but not purchased.
There you go.
Into the U.S. media landscape for years. Infamous post writer Phil Mushnick. They dedicated like 5 minutes of TV time on an episode of Raw during the Attitude Era to have Jim Cornette cut a promo about how much he hated Phil Mushnick, which like they definitely they loathe this guy. So he will be the punching bag of the show. Regularly hammered WWE chairman, that's what Phil Mushnick did, and CEO Vince McMahon in his column. Headlines like "Legislators give WWE a free pass on roids," and "McMahon skips through the cemetery," eventually captured the attention of the FBI, the full-blooded Italians, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, the nation's most prestigious federal prosecutor's office, with a conviction rate of over 96%. So if you could glean this from what I just read, it's going to be a multi-episode series where everybody just bullies poor old innocent Vince McMahon, who has never done anything wrong, and it's going to be fucking hilarious because they're going to try to make him out to be a martyr.
Yeah, but you gotta, just think about that one statement though. The federal prosecutor's office has a conviction rate of over 96%, and they didn't get McMahon.
You tell you what,
he might be the reason for 96%. They had 99, and then Vince came along. And it was graded on a curve, obviously.
Well, see, what people don't know is that movie, Devil's Advocate, that was based on old Jerry McDevitt.
Oh, there you go. I like that movie. That's I think it's on something.
It's on Netflix.
Is it on Netflix?
Yep, because I watched, because they have you can speed up the video. You can do it at 1.5 or 2 times speed, and that's a almost 3-hour long movie. So that comes in handy if you want to watch it and you're in a hurry.
Look, don't touch.
Mm-hmm.
Taste, don't swallow. Love that fucking movie, and that scene. We played it.
Yeah.
We both had fucking Pacino scenes that night.
He's great for sound bites.
Yes, he is. So anyway,
Please, for the love of God, somebody put that out.
I'm just
I don't
baffled.
care who it is.
I'm
I will
really,
subscribe to whatever service puts that shit out
I'm
because
baff-
it's going to be ridiculous.
I'm more baffled they can't get Peacock to pick this motherfucker up. That's supposed to be like their network, their place. They put shit on there. They do this. Peacock's slowly getting some really good movies, by the way. But they kind of have a streaming service that really should pick this up. And if Peacock's not picking this up, I believe we have a fucking Houston. We have a problem.
Like, but I don't know who outside of wrestling fans who would want to watch this.
Lawyers.
I guess, well, yes, because it's like, how in the face of all logic do you get your client off?
I mean, how do you beat the fucking federal goddamn prosecutor? 96%. And then you get Kevin Dunn involved. God damn it! This is gonna be this is gonna be the biggest fluff piece. This is gonna show how McMahon was framed. He was set up. Oh my God! He's probably gonna say he was set up by Hulk Hogan.
It's gonna be like how they had footage back in the day of like when 9/11 happened. George Bush was reading to like elementary school kids. Like when they indict Vince, he's going to be like reading to the blind or something, like a blind like nursing home.
There you go. There you go. I don't know. I just can't believe their own fucking. I mean, Peacock should pick that up, and if Peacock won't pick it up, I think we got a problem. But
because, like you said, it's the biggest fucking fluff piece in the world. Like it's gonna be so far removed from the truth, I'd imagine, which is great. That's what I want. I don't need the truth. I know the story. Like just make it the most ridiculous, like Cody Rhodes-esque self-suckery.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's gonna be great.
So, all right, this is a real quick one, Smark. I got to get into. We're not really going to. We don't really have to get deep into this. WWE did announce a deal with Fanatics. Have you ever heard of Fanatics?
Yeah, the sports apparel. Was it sports apparel? But like,
no, baby.
I guess sports apparel because they do the NFL, NBA jerseys, hats, T-shirts, and the like.
Yes, and they do trading cards, collectibles, and NFTs, all kinds of things like that. WWE has entered into a partnership with Fanatics and also with e-commerce, which I'll tell you the truth, I'm being in the business I'm in, e-commerce is starting to be a huge thing for businesses right now. It's great, and I'll tell you what, during COVID, it was really good for the business I'm in, the packaging business. So, a lot of things, but this is going to be, they are doing all licensed merchandise through Fanatics from now on, basically, is what's happening. This was just announced a few days ago on March 28th. Oh, wait, today's March. No, 2 days ago. And once again, we've been talking about WWE doing, the NFTs and all this stuff, but this company basically took over and got everything from WWE. They got their license, all the real true licensed merchandise is now going to be through Fanatics. All their trading cards are going to be through Fanatics. Their trading cards are made right here, by the way, in Texas. The company that does it is one of my accounts.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm not going to mention the name. But they are right here. Right. They're actually up in my area. I've seen them made. It's kind of funny. But, like I said, don't need to get deep into it, but this is definitely a pretty big deal for them. They're actually calling it a first of its kind deal. That's how big this deal is. So, you know what? We can all sit here and, shit on WWE, how bad they are, how bad the television is, how bad the shows are. This is why they don't give a shit. Because they have fucking their hands in so many other different aspects of the business, and they're making fucking money hand over fist, and they don't care what you say about their show. Vince McMahon basically told you he didn't care what you say about his show if you listen to Pat McAfee's show. So anyway, there you go. Don't need to get deep into that. I guess we can move on.
Yeah. Well, and real quick, I didn't post it because I think it fell within that weird window of like, I think they announced it on a Thursday or a Friday. So by the time it came back around, it was just like out of the news cycle.
Right.
But to give them a little bit of props, they finally did the right thing. They're going to be honoring Chad Gaspard with the Warrior Award at the Hall of Fame this year. So
yes,
cheers to them for actually doing, something positive.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people, they should rename the award. No, they shouldn't. No.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, even if you didn't name it after Shad. Like just the idea of like renaming it for the sake of you basically like it's reimagined from its original intent anyway. So,
but to be honest, this is a chance for them to bring it back because what Shad did defines what a real warrior would do.
True, very true.
So that's just my quick take on it, but I think that's great. I think it's nice that they are honoring him. I understand why they didn't do it last year. It was a really shitty year anyway, with no one knowing what was going on with the whole COVID thing anyway. So I think it was good they waited a year. Things are slowly getting back to the new normal. So I think it's great. I really do. So, all right.
They're also, I have no real story to this, but I just heard like a couple hours ago that they're doing you can have hologram photos with wrestlers. I don't even know where. I guess it's the Access store that we were talking about a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And that's fucking wild.
Oh, and Steiner's.
Ah, yes. The Steiner brothers are going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame as well, which presents an interesting conundrum because they're going to have to acknowledge Scott Steiner now.
Yeah, and I keep seeing everybody going, he's going to have a live mic. You're assuming they're going to let him in the building. I think Rick might be accepting all this.
Is it live, though?
I don't know. We'll find out Friday, I guess.
Because from what I mean, I could greatly be misunderstanding, but from what I had heard was that they were doing it like the same night that they do SmackDown.
Right.
And it was going to be recorded.
Okay.
Unless I just misunderstood, but that was from like Observer Radio was where I heard that, unless I just completely misunderstood what they said.
Oh, well, he's always right, so
I'm just saying I didn't pull it out of my ass. I'm not just making things up. But that is what I heard, at least.
That's not what I was saying, but okay, I got you. I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens with that. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to watch SmackDown, but I do want to check out the Hall of Fame a little bit. I definitely want to see Undertaker. Curious to see what he says. Definitely curious. So, all right. I think that's all we got on that. Let's knock out Dynamite real quick. My notes are pretty small on this show, Smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was a good show.
Well,
it was a decent show.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it was fucking great. There was some good stuff on it, though. I mean, we immediately have CM Punk come out again, and the crowd was on fire. They fucking loved Punk coming out. It was Punk versus Max Caster.
Yes.
I think we were all expecting a Will Smith line.
Yes.
There had to be one, and there was. And there was scissoring.
Mm-hmm.
There was scissoring, which we always have to have. I thought this was a really good opening match. I really do. The crowd was fucking hot as hell for it. Seemed like it was exactly what they wanted, something like this to start out with. And Punk ended up winning. And I actually liked the thing he did with Tony Schiavone at the end. But I think it's funny that Punk went from this uber babyface to this kind of tweener babyface, kind of still shitting on the crowd, and then immediately went right back to the uber babyface again.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder if that had anything to do with like injuries and just things being shuffled around. Because there was a couple of different like people that got injured. Moxley ended up going into rehab, things like that. So where it seemed like Punk's status jostled around a little.
Could have been, but I also noticed that it's something he kept bringing up in his promo was he kept saying, as long as I'm here, you know, and, you know, I'm not sure, I don't know how much time I got here, and I know he said, you know, there's going to be more gray in this beard, but that kind of made me think he's not in this thing for the long haul. I mean, I'm not saying, you know, 3 years maybe might be about as much as we get out of Punk, which I think if we get 3 extra years out of a guy that no one ever thought was coming back, I think that's a fucking blessing right there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even as, you know, far back as like last summer, it didn't even seem like a possibility that he was going to come back. Like it didn't, you know, those rumors didn't start circulating until I guess late September or late summer, because it was September when they started, or mid-August actually, when they started circulating.
That sounds about right.
Because he debuted in September, so I had that a little mixed up. But like spring of last year, it's like that seemed like an impossibility.
It did, because he was always saying that doesn't want to come back, doesn't want to do this, but this was definitely the right promotion for him to definitely come back to, be on television and have us all be able to see more CM Punk. But you know, Tony obviously was asking him, you know, well, what was the whole belt gesture? And it's like, well, why did you even have to ask? I thought that was actually a little bit of time-wasting overkill.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, we know what the fuck he meant. I get it. It was so he could cut that promo. Tony didn't need to be in there. Punk could have cut that promo without Tony. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of how it should have gone. But right after that, Mark, we got MJF and FTR backstage with Alex Marvez. We see the Pinnacle slowly dying here, obviously. FTR, after the whole, I got to admit, I missed a little bit of what MJF said, but I did catch where FTR basically said, listen, we're friends with you. We're friends with Wardlow. Leave us the fuck out of it.
Yeah, I'm glad that they don't like just kill things off without any payoff. But at the same time, I don't think they need to go through like every step of a stable breaking up, because this seems like almost identical to the Inner Circle situation.
Yes, not even the Inner Circle. It actually seems more like the Adam Cole situation with the Bucks. The Bucks. Oh, listen, you know, we don't want anything to do with the whole, you know, Hangman Adam Page situation. You literally have the same thing going on in 2 storylines right now.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we both had different like analogies or different stables that we could pull from, and they both work as a point, is sort of the point, is that they do this with all the stables that break up, and it just becomes a little bit redundant.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They don't need to show every fucking step. I know if you don't, everyone's on the line is going, hey, didn't even explain why they broke up. You know what? Some people have bad days. They get pissed off and they fucking break up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens. That's just how it fucking goes. I did like the fact where they were like, nah, MJF said, you know, I get it. You guys are family to me. But, you know, man, Wardlow used to talk a lot of shit about you guys. I thought that was fucking great.
So if you knew what Wardlow was saying, you wouldn't like him so much.
Yeah. FTR, obviously, I mean, we can all see it. It's fucking right there in front of our eyes. They're obviously acting and working more babyface style. I don't think, again, I'm not saying anything here fucking that no one else is noticing. I'm just kind of pointing out the obvious.
I mean, you know why, right, Box? Because things are going to become a lot better for you soon. They're about to be, the rumor is that they're going to be having a new manager very soon. None other than your personal favorite wrestler of all time, Bret Hart.
That will give me so many more reasons to just love FTR.
I thought you were going to say condense these AEW reviews, because there'll be segments that are skipped in its entirety.
It will do that too. And did I say love? I meant loathe. But I don't know. And the whole thing was. Did you catch that whole thing with the Bret Hart where he was talking about Goldberg?
No, I saw him talking about how like he was just in love with the match last week between Wheeler and Punk.
Oh, he was talking about the whole Goldberg took his career, and he hasn't even. He's going. Bret should be the one going over to Saudi Arabia, and blah blah blah. And
Bret Hart taking the
wait.
Saudi Arabia stand.
Oh, I'm not even done. And he said, "Wait a minute. Wait till you hear this." And he said, Goldberg made what, $3 million, and he didn't even call to offer me anything. Now
Goldberg,
you want,
because of you, I could be performing for the Saudi prince. You screwed me.
now you want fucking charity? You want a fucking handout?
That's my blood money, Goldberg.
Exactly. Yeah. You want you want a fucking handout? Go somewhere else. I don't know, man. I'm gonna, but I will say one thing. It was what Goldberg did. I know he didn't mean to do it. He did cut Bret's career short, and no matter my feelings on Bret Hart, I do feel bad about that. That's awful. That really is.
Yeah, I feel bad for him, because he had all the medical issues and whatnot, everything that happened after the fact because of that.
Right.
But just the idea of him, like, maybe some things are better left unsaid, even if that's how you feel. Like, that's a really weird thing to be like, man, I couldn't be in Saudi Arabia making that blood money.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, listen. We see where Bret Hart, he wants to be over there, and I just thought the cringiest thing was he's over there making money and didn't call to even give me anything. What is your hand out? Come on, Bret. Come on.
Well,
Bret.
no, his hand's oot.
Oot. Yeah. Maybe sell some of your pictures of yourself, huh? On your wall. Eh? Hey.
Maybe throw on some pajamas, put a disco ball in your car.
Maybe tone down your shrine to yourself, eh?
Hey.
Yeah, you could do that, maybe. Maybe tone that down a little bit. If you need money so bad, maybe you could do some selling on the old, hey, call up Fanatics. They'll take care of it for you, brother.
Holy shit. Bret is like basically just Teddy without the criminal record. Like, they both think as highly of themselves as the other one does, but just one of them doesn't have drug offenses and potentially human trafficking.
Sometimes you wonder how they. I mean, it's amazing they're related, and then he says something like this, and you're like, no, it makes sense they're related at this point.
Yeah, then you just start thinking like it's more of a surprise that like Owen's related to these assholes. It's like, oh, he was the nice one.
Mm-hmm. He was the funny one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Paul was the cute one. Anyway.
Paul and Ringo Hart?
Yeah. Ringo was a whiny one, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway.
I mean, you could make those analogies, because that's like fucking, like, Bruce Hart could be the Ringo, and then Keith Hart could be like the Paul.
There you go. All right, let's just move on. We went way off track there. But anyway, Jay Lethal versus Jon Moxley. Dude, the crowd was loving them some Jon Moxley tonight. Not even during the match. Coming down to the fucking ring, the crowd was fucking loving this fucking guy.
Sure.
And the crowd loved the match too. I'm not saying they didn't, but it really was a good match between these two. I think they're finally listening to the internet bitching about, well, you guys got Jay Lethal and you're doing nothing with him. I think they're going to give him a little bit of a pushki. And Moxley got the win here, which didn't matter. He did extend the hand to Lethal, kind of out of respect, which we saw that. Good match, though, man.
Yeah.
Definitely a good fucking match. Then after that, Smart, we got that Marina Shafir vignette. Like we kind of already talked about that, so we don't really need to get into it, do we?
No, not really. I mean, it was good produced. It was produced well. She looks like a killer, so it's going to be interesting to see what she can do.
Yeah, most definitely. I think they might be able to do with her what WWE should have done and couldn't do, and for some reason just didn't want to do, but whatever. Then we get this whatever this was. FTR comes out versus the Gun Club. They've got Daddy Gunn with them, Billy Gunn. MJF comes out on commentary. Now, mid-match, Wardlow just starts coming in the arena and beating the shit out of security. And then he starts walking through the crowd. I guess he unbuttoned a few buttons at that point on his shirt. And he starts pointing at MJF, and security finally, like, stops him. It's like, oh, well, you know, that was our B security. Here comes our A security, because the guys got bigger as they came at him. The security guys kept getting bigger and bigger. They finally stopped Wardlow, which gave enough distraction for FTR to get the win. But I mean, it was still a cluster. It was still a clusterfuck finish, and FTR, even though they are supposed to be working kind of babyface, they still kind of won in a heel with a distraction and kind of a heel way. But I did think it was kind of obviously telling. MJF goes up. But from the commentary, he goes into the ring. He tries to hold up Dax's arm, who suddenly has a Freddie Mercury stash. And Dax shrugged shrugged it off and started kind of yelling at him. And the crowd fucking loved it. They ate it up. Anyone against MJF right now, the crowd is fucking just eating up like I've never seen.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just, he's got a lot of heat behind him, for sure.
Oh, definitely. He definitely, and I mean, well-deserved heat. He should be getting it. And he's good at getting heat, which is the rarity.
Yeah, because he had that, that's been making the rounds. He did that interview last week where he just spent like the entire interview talking about how if AEW expects him to re-sign with them before his contract's up, they better be giving him an astronomical sum. And then he spent like a good 15 minutes, I guess, putting over how much he loves Bruce Pritchard. So he's just like, even in his interviews, he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, and people fucking buy right into these fucking interviews. Like, oh, he is so leaving AEW. He's so leaving. I don't know about that. Because let me tell you what. If you think you're going to get the MJF, you're getting an AEW and WWE. Remember when they thought they were getting Johnny B. Bad? Remember that? Remember that? Anyone remember that? Yeah. See how that worked out for Mark Miro? Good for a while. Not good for long. Anyway.
Which is funny because the gimmick is better that they gave him, but then his tenure wasn't as good.
No, I thought Johnny B. Bad was a great gimmick, man. I know it was a complete ripoff. I know it was Little Richard. I know. But it was a good gimmick, and it was entertaining.
That fucking theme song was something else. So I love those fucking, the old WCW. What was the name of the CD? I can't remember the name of the CD, but it's just like, you had a bunch of like very shitty, like generic studio session musicians singing wrestlers' life stories.
I mean, the fucking name of the fucking album was generic, and I
Slam
forget
Jam?
It was Slam Jam.
He's pretty as a picture.
I have it.
Just like Little Richard.
I have it. I have Slam Jam. I do.
And then like the Ron Simmons one was like basically them reading a Wikipedia entry on Ron Simmons.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like he went to Florida State and he'll kick your ass. That's not at all how it sounded, but I don't remember exactly how it sounded.
That's good enough.
You don't step to Ron was the point of the story.
That's right. That's right. Unless you're a Don.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Jericho Appreciation Society is backstage, and I got to be honest, I missed most of this. My daughter had to be changed, and she was yelling for me. So
so the best part is whatever they're calling Shane Matthews these days, the bigger one, Big Magic. He's dressed like either Trent Acid or Mace from the More Money, More Problems video, because he has on this fucking like full on silver suit. He has on like the silver blazer, the silver pants. It's just fucking, it's amazing. It's quite the outfit. And then his partner is dressed like a 20s mobster.
Yes, I still say the one guy is doing Joe Pesci. I'm sorry. He's doing a fucking over-exaggerated Pesci.
Yeah, well, that he was the one that was wearing the silver suit.
Yes.
And it was great because they did the whole thing that they did last week of like they pull back the curtain and like you expect them to be there, they're not gonna be there, and then they open up the second curtain and he goes, they're there, they were there, and they like just recoils and they beat his ass for a minute, and it was wonderful.
It was,
but then
it was
they ended
Santana.
up getting the upper hand on them at the end. So
Well, it was 5-on-3, so
yes.
but Santana is deceivingly jacked.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's a strong dude.
It's just every now and then he just comes out there. He looks like a fucking beast, and sometimes he comes out there and you're just like, he's not that big of a guy. And then you see him. I mean, like he looked fucking jackish. I mean, he's only been gone for a couple of weeks. He couldn't have fucking gained any muscle, but I don't know. I guess I just don't look at him as a big muscle guy, so I don't know. But he's fucking jacked, man. It was pretty cool. Watch it. Well, like I said, it was 5-on-3 eventually. Like you said, the numbers kind of, I did see that part. And it was good shit. I mean, good to see those guys back. Next week, obviously, it'll be a whole, we'll see more with those guys next week, obviously.
Yeah. And of course, Jericho just further slipping into the sports entertainment gimmick because he said that he said that he was, for the last like X amount of years, I forget exactly how long he said, but he's been the worldwide leader in sports entertainment, which is literally word for word the fucking intro from the WWF pay-per-views.
Yep.
From like in the late 90s. It's wonderful.
It sure is. That's I didn't even hear that. That's awesome. That's awesome. I was watching it again on the TBS app, but it did lock up more than it did last week, so I don't know. I guess I gave too many people a tip. They're all locking it up now.
Can't just be putting the tip in all over the place now.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, man, I didn't mean to put the tip in.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I say it's just a tip. Every time. And then, anyway, Bryan Danielson versus Wheeler Yuta. Regal on commentary, which I love that he just calls. I love that he calls that Caliber the guy in the mask.
Yep. And it's specifically great because he comes in and he's so happy to see everybody.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, Jim, how you been doing? Tony, great to see you as always. Masked man." And it's just like, I like the idea that he like even like kayfabe or even just real life can't be bothered to put in the effort to learn Excalibur's name. He's like, "Ah, fuck it."
You're like, I'm not taking this fucking guy serious. He's in a fucking mask doing commentary. Fucking asshole. I agree with him. This was another good match, and you got Regal on commentary saying how interested he is, and definitely with Yuta and that stuff, and but then I thought Danielson was fucking as usual great in this match. Great fucking that knee, the knee that beat John Cena is what he used to call it, and it's fucking awesome. It always looks brutal, and shortly after the knee, he won the match.
Yeah, I mean that was my problem with the show, and it's not a new problem because like the matches are good, and it's been this way for a couple of weeks or maybe even a couple of months now. But it seems like 2/3 of the roster is there exclusively to put over the other quarter of the roster. So like there's a lot of good in-ring matches, but like you knew Punk wasn't losing that one. You knew Moxley wasn't losing that one, but it was a little bit more believable because of Jay Lethal's pedigree and accomplishments and whatnot. But then you knew for sure that Yuta wasn't winning that match. So it's just like there's a lot of good matches, but like where it's going.
Yeah, most definitely. Predictability is a problem. And Sacha Baron Corbin, thanks for stopping by. Good night, man. Have a good one. We'll see you next week. You're right. Predictability is definitely an issue. I mean, if you look at the matches they have when they do dark, it's like I could do this. I could predict these with my eyes closed.
Mm-hmm.
It is an issue, but the matches turn out to be good either way.
Oh, yeah. The quality is there for sure.
I think that's why people are just kind of, I'm not going to say they're giving them a pass, which like, in a way they are. But I think that's why people are just basically not really harping on the predictability because the matches are still good. And as wrestling fans, we're looking for good matches. We shouldn't care who wins or loses in most cases. So it it's technically doing its job to us as wrestling fans, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I think I get what you're getting at. Because, like, yeah, obviously the pay window is not a real thing. But at the same time, like, the story they're telling you is, like, you're trying to see which one is going to win. So it's like, if you know which one's going to win already, it sometimes makes it harder to get into.
Are you saying there's not a window where they go meet a manager to get their pay? The manager? they don't have to ask for a manager?
And Ian Rotten just slides of a hot dog through bulletproof glass.
It's just Paul Heyman behind there going, oh, okay.
For the last time, AJ, I did not fire your friends.
Oh shit, that was good. That was good. I like that. That was a good callback. That was quick, man. I like that one. Oh shit. Anyway, Adam Cole and Red Dragon come out with their stolen titles. I love it. I love that they had their names in masking tape with fucking marker written on them.
That is a good touch.
They had a box of party supplies in the ring, which never got used. And then next thing you know, we get Adam Page driving out in a Tesla thinking he's JBL. He's got the bull horns on the hood. And if you're asking, if for people that live in a southern area, do you really see cars like that out here? Rarely, but yes.
Yeah, I haven't really. I think I've ever seen bull horns. I've seen a lot. Well, not a lot, but I've seen like some where they honk the horn and it's like the Dukes of Hazzard theme. I've seen that.
Really?
I've seen any number of the dun, 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 dun. I see that a lot actually.
Playing Dixie.
Yeah, and just any number of different bumper stickers expressing opinions that I could not care less about.
I see plenty of bumper stickers here, but
this is true.
Not many Biden stickers, but anyway, let's just move on from that.
I see a lot of Biden stickers, are just not necessarily positive ones.
Yeah, I see a lot of Calvin pissing. But anyway,
those are a staple. I can't believe that those have endured for as long as they have.
And
because that was a thing when I was a child.
That was a thing when I was in the 90s, when I was a fucking, my 20s, and still a thing. Or at least
it was usually for the longest time. It was like him pissing on like a Ford logo or a Chevy logo, depending on what kind of truck you preferred.
Right. Exactly. And then it just got out of hand. But anyway, like I said, Hangman Page, he comes out. He's got his fucking little Tesla. He takes out Red Dragon pretty quickly. Takes out Cole. Red Dragon and Red Dragon's heading up the ramp. Next thing you know, you got Luchasaurus coming down with Jungle Boy. Christian runs down there for no apparent reason, just to hold their arms up. They take everyone out and they get their titles back. So there goes the masking tape on the titles. Pretty much that's it.
All's well that ends well on that segment.
Then we get this segment. I don't have much to say about this, but I do want to kind of get into this. Tony Schiavone comes in. He interviews Thunder Rosa. Now, I appreciate she didn't get fucking jumped from behind this time. I just thought she seemed a little uncomfortable in this segment.
Well, you know why? Are you talking about Thunder Rosa?
Yes.
We talked about what could potentially have been a shitstorm in the making with the MJF promo from last week.
Right.
Where he talked about he could crucify him like Jesus. And we're like, oh boy, that could stir up some trouble. What we didn't talk about last week was a Vicky Guerrero Thunder Rosa exchange that actually did offend a lot of people.
Yes.
Which was
we talked about it, but yeah, go ahead.
Kind of funny to me because basically the whole crux of it was like Vicky Guerrero questioning Thunder Rosa's authenticity as a Mexican. And what made me laugh was like how many specifically non-Mexican people were taking umbrage with this segment.
That's kind of where we are now. People of the different nationalities think that they need to take up for people of that nationality. And the truth is, trust me, they can take care of their fucking selves.
Right. I don't think she sprung it on her. Like I feel like they talked about what they were going to do beforehand. And to me, it just seems silly that you're like, you were upset over something that one Mexican lady said to another Mexican lady when you yourself are not Mexican and you do not know the perspective and you cannot speak for them. So what is your point?
Yeah, I this is where social media takes the downfall to me.
But I mean, and I'm not trying to get on a whole big soapbox here, but
No.
I think if you noticed apprehension with Thunder Rosa this week, I think that's why. This is because of how big of a shitstorm got kicked up, albeit briefly, following the day or two after Dynamite last week.
And they did make sure to, I believe JR assured us that no one would be, jumping her from behind this week or anything like that. So they saw the complaints. They did.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, AEW is a company that actually will do a little listening to the fans, unlike Vince just going, "You guys don't know dick."
Right.
Because I'm still making money, go fuck yourself. Which I also get that statement too. But anyway, I'm glad Rosa's champion. I think it was definitely the right time to do it. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at the fucking, the fucking the crowd loves her, and she deserves it. I know it's a weird. It's kind of a not right to say that, to deserve, but she does most definitely. So
sure, it's cool just being able to, like, we both watch Lucha Underground, being able to like kind of chart her progress the last couple of years.
Yeah,
to where she was like sort of an unknown entity during the Lucha Underground days, and then developed into a hot commodity. Now that she's in AEW and now she's the women's champion and all of that.
Yeah, and me being in Texas, seeing her taking pictures at this little tiny bar in the Colony, which was like 3 miles from me. Which if I knew she was there, I would have gone to see her. But she's literally taking, pictures wrestling in this tiny little bar, called the Lava Lounge, and she's wrestling in it. And I don't know, just kind of cool seeing her, progress over the years. So,
yeah.
But anyway, we get in a little more of the women. We got the Bunny versus the newly debuting Toni Storm, who's had a wonderful week, or a wonderful end of March for herself, with making thousands off of her OnlyFans, and now being all elite. Good for her, man. I think it's great she landed somewhere that hopefully she's going to be happy. Obviously, her being happy is a big deal to her, and for some people, that's the only thing they want in a job, is to just be fucking happy, which I get. My God, I don't think I've ever been fucking happy in a job. Well, there was that one. Well, there was that one time where I was making $2,000 a week. I was happy in that job. But she came out. This was an Owen Hart tournament. This was one of the first Owen Hart tournament matches, with Toni Storm debuting.
I could be wrong, but I think this was a qualifier for that.
It was, and
because they announced that they're going to be doing the tournament in May,
right?
Which seemed a little bit weird that they're like already. I guess it makes the tournament seem more prestigious this way, but like that they're already sort of filling in the brackets for the tournament.
Well, they're doing a men and women, so I guess this is going to be. So if it does last a long time, that'll make more sense.
Yeah.
So it does make sense. But man, those simps in the crowd were going nuts. They were. Yep. Oh my God! They showed two guys who I thought were brothers. They were both skinny and screaming and had beards, and they were loving them some Toni fucking Storm. She looked a little leaner. I do have to say that. And
perhaps
Christopher Kane was actually, I believe it was Christopher Kane saying that in the chat. She did look a little bit leaner. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. But she looked a little leaner, like she had been kind of working out a little bit, looked great, and took this match in her debut, which again, the predictability, you knew who was winning this match.
Well, that was the thing. Was like they put this out on social media like a couple days ago, where it's like Bunny versus question mark, and it's like we don't like everybody was like, we don't even know who the question mark is, but we know who isn't winning.
Right.
And it's just like, that poor girl, because like I feel for her because she seems like a genuinely likable lady, and like not only that, but like not the best wrestler in the world. Let's not lie about it, but she's got charisma to her, and they had that whole match like over New Year's Eve weekend where it was that the hardcore match,
right?
The tag team match with her and Penelope Ford and Anna Jay and Tay Conti, and the only person who's really reaped any reward or benefit from that has been Tay Conti, and that's been about it. Like you don't see Penelope Ford all that much these days outside of Dark or any of the other YouTube shows, and Anna Jay as well, and then you got the Bunny who's just basically losing like almost all the time. So it's just like, oof, it's rough.
Well, guess when you're banging the right guy.
I guess in her case, she's banging the wrong guy.
I guess being with Sammy Guevara is like being with John Cena.
In many ways, we need to at least to like do some snooping or do some sleuthing, because apparently Evil East knows like who's doing what and where that's getting them.
Evil East, she's a little bit of a complainer. I don't know if I would take her at face value, but
I would take her for anything.
I mean, I would definitely.
She seems not terribly mentally stable, but it's worth the risk, I think.
That's the problem. Those crazy chicks are. All right, let's just move on to the last match, because I really got to pee at this point.
Yeah.
Andrade comes out in his gimp mask versus Darby Allin, and by the way, I know this is completely off topic, not wrestling at all, but Bruce Willis. Did you see the thing with Bruce Willis today?
Yes and no. I saw that he was retiring from acting because of medical reasons. I don't know exactly what those medical reasons are.
The medical reason is a disease called, I think it's called asphasia or aphasia. It is a brain disorder that eventually he will not be able to communicate or understand the English language or any language.
I mean, it doesn't stop Stallone.
Hell, what are you talking about? What are you talking about over there? I go out there, I do my job. I have a lot of money for my movies.
Makes a lot of money, so he knows what he's doing.
What are you talking about out there, huh? Hey, did you ever see my porno called The Italian Stallion?
Yes, sir. Big fan of your work.
Asshole comedian used to make fun of me for it.
Right?
Fucking Bobcat Goldthwait.
That lousy son of a bitch.
I actually have that whole skit. I'm going to play that one day on the show. Anyway, I really do. Bruce Willis, amazing actor. Feel bad for him. Just wanted to bring that out real quick while we were, for some reason, the gimp match made me think of Bruce Willis.
See, it's kind of always been my dream to be like, not a Sylvester Stallone, but like a Frank Stallone. I'm just like, you're sort of in the game, but not really, but you know the right people. Like a Clint Howard.
Eric Roberts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's countless number of people.
Yeah. Eric Roberts.
Seth Curry, who is Steph Curry's brother, but like is not talented at all, but he's still in the NBA. Like there's just all kinds of like fucking Genettis in the family that are just like I'm fascinated by.
The other Wahlberg brother.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know
Johnny.
I don't even know his name. The other Wahlberg brother. I don't even know. There's fucking, Danny, Donnie. I don't even know the other fucking brother's name, but he's got the restaurant, so who cares? Anyway, the last match was like I said, Andrade coming out in the old gimp mask with versus Darby Allin. You got Andrade right over the ropes. Before the match even starts, he goes over the ropes. He takes out Darby before the match. Darby took a beating here. And, that move where he set the stairs on the side and you saw the stairs bend when Darby hits it, looked great.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I thought that looked great. I thought this was a really, Andrade is a guy who's really like wrestled every 3 to 4 months. And I thought if they're going to have him come out there and wrestle more, this was definitely the match to get you excited for him coming out there more on Dynamite.
I could agree with that.
Yeah, I if that's what they're thinking, I think this was the right match to do it. Like 5 minutes later, the match finally starts. Andrade, at one point he did like a back throw to Darby, and Darby landed dead on his knees. Tell me you saw that.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Oh my God, my knees hurt. I have 2 bad knees anyway. My fucking knees hurt from watching that, dude. And then they're slapping the shit out of each other. And I swear to God, I looked at my wife had just gotten home because my kid had a scout meeting. And my wife gets home and she's like, "Oh my God, what are they doing?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but I think Darby might get knocked out accidentally here." Because Andrade was fucking reaching back for those fucking slaps, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've ever seen those old slapping contests, you could knock a motherfucker out by doing that. Okay.
Right. Yeah, it kind of reminded me, it was slapping, so it wasn't like 1-for-1, but like it used to be a staple in independent wrestling, like mid 2000s or so, where they would like pull a chair into the ring and just sit there and just punch each other back and forth.
Right.
Of like the one that sticks out in my mind is like Samoa Joe, Necro Butcher, where they just like punch each other dead ass in the face for a good like 5 minutes.
I remember that one. I do remember that one. But oh shit, we have 10 minutes and we're out of here.
We're almost done.
Well, I know we are. I didn't mean to go this long, folks, but come on, it was WrestleMania weekend. You know what we're doing here. But I thought this was a great show, even though, AEW may not have anything, no pay-per-views or anything coming up this weekend, but I still thought it was a good show for a WrestleMania week show. I did put on a good show. Like I said, there wasn't a ton of meat to this show, but I think everything they had on this show had some meaning and was pretty good. I just think the Thunder Rosa promo came off a little almost like they're like, all right, we see we fucked up last week. We'll throw her on this week just to make everyone happy.
I like the Jade Cargill promo that they did because she's like looking for the person to have her 30th win against.
Boy, that girl has a side pose. And
then they smart Mark Sterling brings out the librarian and she's like, "Get her the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
I'm not wrestling her for match 30. And she just like walks off the screen dejected.
I was just glad they let us know she still worked there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a good little gesture to let us know she's still employed. So
I think she does a lot of their like streaming and technical website tech stuff.
Yeah, she does. So all right, folks, we need to get the hell out of here. I am sorry I kept everyone up so late. I appreciate everyone who hung with us as long as they did. And that means I should probably get our final music going here. And we can go ahead and knock these bad boy plugs out. Is that your dog snoring? I keep hearing, Smart.
Could be. I got a little bit of a fan going. There's dogs snoring.
Could be either one. Who knows? But all right, folks. Definitely, we got WrestleMania coming up. A lot of stuff going on this weekend. I'm honestly not sure what's happening this weekend, so keep following us. We'll let you know. I got a feeling I'm not going to have time to do anything. My wife said we actually have shit to do this weekend. I'm not happy about it. But anyway, let's go ahead and knock these plugs out here. That's right, High Marks, Cheeseman, Mojo, G-Wiz. That's right, all three of them together make the High Marks, which you should be listening to Sunday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Mixler.com/Metal Mitt Podcast Network. And you should be checking them out on YouTube also and the usual podcast platforms. So definitely check that out right there. And, of course, Bobby Anthem, Bobby Blades, The Inhumans on The Inhuman Experience. Check them out on all the usual podcast platforms if you have not by now. What are you, crazy? Jesus Christ. Check out also Everything Unscripted Wrestling Podcast with Eric, Doug, and Daniel. They can be found on all the usual podcast platforms. And, of course, Blog Talk Radio, EUP Network is where you can find them right there. And Steve Milan sharing the show, letterboxboxt.com/Stephen Milan. 2 L's in Milan. Check him out. And once again, I'm still back and forth on Hollywood Hangout this week with wrestling being on. I know no one's going to be listening to me. They're going to be just burnt out on a lot of stuff, so may take off, may just rock out a music show. I don't know yet. Like I said, if I do a music show, it's going to be 90s grunge, so maybe I'll go on after a few drinks on Saturday night and just jam out with you guys. Anyway, be right here on mixer.com/dirtsheetdude, so follow, and we'll see you. Go ahead, Smart.
All right, real quick. It does seem like there's some form or capacity. Cheese and I are probably going to be doing something Sunday. Box might be joining us. Wiz might be joining us. We don't know yet. Who knows? Who can tell? So be sure to subscribe to the Metal Mitt Podcast Network and the Dirt Sheet Dudes Mixler if you haven't already. So you'll get the updates on whenever we figure out what it is that we're going to do or not going to do. You'll be the first to know. But what you want to do is Mondays at 8:30 p.m. every week, every time. It's Cheese on Sports with Cheese Whiz, Cheese Man, Luke Birch, Matt, and myself. NBA, NHL, MLB, NFL. If you got a 3-letter acronym, we're going to be covering you. And you also want to listen to Mojo and Dirk's Most Dastardly Show. And they are at wherever you can find your podcast. And be sure to listen to our friends at Planet Raconteur. Planet Record Tour podcast with Bobby Anthem, Papa Dave, Sincere, and Yuck Nasty. All 16 episodes of season 1 and the season 2 episodes are coming out, are going to be available for you when you subscribe. So be sure to do that now.
All right, there you go, folks. Once again, thanks everybody who was tuning in tonight live. Thanks everyone who's going to download, and just thank you. And everybody, take it easy. Don't watch too much wrestling this weekend. Try to pace yourself. And that's it. We will see you guys next week. And just have a good time. Take it easy.
Adios.